The work week is done. It's Friday night. Strap yourselves in. It's time once again for Kyber Cave After Dark. What's going on, everybody? My name is Fours. Y'all know me as Fours FX. I've got Saber fonts and stuff and crap. And hi.
Hi.
We have our newcomer, Brian Palpatine, to the
Hello,
scene.
folks. Thanks to be here for us.
Absolutely. And, of course, my love, Captain America, Aubrey.
I really should have put Sailor Moon up there. I don't know why it's still.
You totally should.
Sailor Death Star.
Sailor Death Star. I'll be Sailor Sky Killer. How about that?
You've never seen that? There is a Sailor Star Killer, and she's like Sailor Moon style uniform, but First Order style, and then like Star Killer like tutu spread out. I like
Funny thing, I actually have a character for a Star Wars game. Actually, her name's Perla Gray, and she's known as Lady Gray. She's awesome.
I like it. I've said it before. The only thing I wrote in 8th grade that I still can bear to look at is the name of my 8th grade West End game Sith character, Darth Corosis.
Of course. I mean, she's kind of, it's so funny.
Awesome. So,
I mean, they get kind of crazy in those Darths, like in the expanded universe. One of my favorite ones in Red Harvest is the headmaster of the Sith school, Darth Scabrous. Come on, like, was Furunculus taken? Where's Darth Chlamydius next? Like, come on, we're trying too hard to make like spooky, mean names. It's enough, guys. It's enough.
Darth Scaratus.
I know, like Darth Gravid. Are you familiar with this character? Darth Gravid is a famous Sith in Star Wars lore who turned to the light and destroyed a tragic amount of Sith architecture. But in the meantime, Gravid means you are bearing eggs. And like, who told Gravid that that's a menace? And just tell Dave it means something crazy, like it means evil. Nobody tell him. This is why we get dental. Come on, just let him go.
Like Dr. Evil. Oh my God.
Yeah, exactly.
So we have a little bit of technical difficulty going on, as much as my speech
technical difficulties.
So. Arc Excali, all know him as Van. His computer is not up, so he is unable to post the comments as they come in. But I do want to shout a welcome to Harry Solo Fonts, Dr. Oh, check that out. Dr. Saber.
Who did that?
I believe that would
Someone's
be our producer S.
Is that Miss Mezzo? It is Miss Mezzo.
Probably Mezzo. Sure Graveyard is
also
in our chat
as
tonight.
M.
Say Wong. Let's see. Graveyard, Say Wong. Ability TV on Twitch. I'm gonna take a guess that Ability TV on Twitch is probably Phil the Mansplainer. Let's see who the heck else. Danny Rivera. So yeah, good evening to everybody.
Good morning. Wait, where is I see Graveyard. Hey, Graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
My voice is a little crackly. I've got a cold. So so I sound more like Penelope right now. Or you guys said it earlier. Now I can't.
Penelope von Schweetz.
Yes. Oh my God. Why can't I think about it? Oh my God.
That's freaking great.
See, I told you.
You got to work with what you got. In Celebration 17, I screened myself hoarse like on day 1, and then the rest of the con, I'm trying to do Palpatine voice all week long, and.
I could do the Catherine Janeway voice too. Like I was so like when I woke up a couple days ago. It was yesterday. My voice was so hoarse. I could only speak like all the way down here, and I was like sounding like Kate Mulgrew. I'm like, there's coffee in that nebula. Can't do it now, but
that's really good. Throw a Russian accent in there and go Orange is the New Black.
I know, but I love my cat. I like doing Catherine Janeway more. Get off this ship.
Oh my!
She's so good.
I need to revisit that series.
So while we're waiting So while we're waiting for Van to make his appearance, let me plug the channel and the stuff we got going on here. So if you guys have not been paying attention to Kyber Cave Productions, I suggest you head over. Well, you're here now. And if you haven't subbed, please do. And pay attention to our new gaming streams that we have going on. There's 2 of them. There's 2 gaming streams going on. Mezzo hosts them live. She's on Wednesday mornings. That's 1 p.m. Eastern time for all of you Floridians. Yes,
Western Pacific time.
And I'm hosting one, but it's not live, it's recorded, and I'm doing The Last of Us on PS5 because I got The Last of Us curtain behind us, so
it's fun. Plus he also calls me out and it's lovely.
You found it?
I did.
I felt so ashamed. I was like, I shouldn't be like that on recording. Screw it. I'm so sorry. So
you're like, I'm sorry. I'm like, I don't know why you're apologizing.
Because I'm not supposed to be Dave. Dave is supposed to be Dave. That's why.
Fair, I mean, that's fair,
the Dave was strong with me that day. So tomorrow, I'll be recording episode 4, and I'll try to drop episode 4 on Sunday, and then join us for Saber Rattle on Sunday night. And that's hosted, of course, by Mezzo and by Van. So tonight, kids, we're going to be talking about a couple of topics. However, I'm not sure which one is supposed to be first. So, but our
topic.
Oh God, what was our heavy topic for the night? I forgot. Oh, okay. And wait.
I don't even know why I did that, but
timing.
Because I love X-Men. That's why.
That's true. I do. By the way, we have a love affair going on. Just in case anyone doesn't know, we just do, and it's okay.
I'm sorry you mentioned the X-Men. I have to add this. Did anybody see the video from New York City Comic Con recently of a guy in flawless Eddie Munson cosplay following people around playing their theme song? So like in the video, he comes up behind a Cyclops and Jean Grey, like, and he's just like jamming. And then he does the same thing to Master Chief from Halo. And then, well, I'll let you find it. But yeah, New York City Comic Con, Eddie Munson cosplay. Unbelievable. That guy's crazy.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so
After, but he's a friend of mine. He also does a really cool Luke. But at any rate, it was really impressive.
Oh, God. Luke's my favorite character. Anyway.
My favorite character.
So when I'm in costume, Aubrey, I think we've talked about this before, for us, but when I'm in costume as Palpatine, I'll ask people who their favorite character is, and it's never me, and then I get offended about it. So I'm like, I'm in character, and I get all mad. So
you will die.
I've got bits for like whoever they say. I can make fun of them, and one of my favorites is like a Boba Fett. You've seen 1.2 million of them.
Right. Everyone loves Boba Fett for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, you never see him do anything. I did a hospital visit years ago, and only one, because I show up as Palpatine. I got Darth Vader, 3 stormtroopers, Boba Fett, and Luke Skywalker. Anybody want to talk to the Emperor in that lineup? No, not sick kids. I'm in the corner talking to the doctors for 2 hours, complaining that I'm not enough attention. I was only the villain of 7 films and 3 television shows, but Lord Vader this, Darth Vader that.
I love this.
Freaking awesome. So, who's been ghosted recently?
I
don't know about you guys. I'm 48 and I've been with my wife since 1999. I only get ghosted when I forget to do something. I got to take the trash out after this.
Oh my gosh, ghosting's not fun.
So to kick things off this week, one of our topics is ghosting, and we've all. I'd definitely like to say that many of us have had our share of it. I've been ghosted professionally.
Ghosting professionally is even worse.
It's awful.
Not worse.
I didn't know you could hire somebody to do that.
Oh God.
Oh, you can hire somebody to do anything nowadays. But no, like for example, like there's this one job that I left that I was supposed to receive a severance, and I never did. And I've been contacting, and nada. So that money ain't coming.
Oh.
So.
Ghost Sewong, I don't know if that counts, buddy. I don't know if that counts.
Sewong says, not going to lie, I ghosted SAC anime for almost a decade.
Yeah. And then I love Graveyard's comment. What the hell is the aluminum falcon?
The hell is an aluminum falcon?
And also, someone asked Brian, did you do the robot chicken joke?
I've done several. There's footage of me on Twitter.
So
At some
funny.
point, we're going up the escalator at the Chicago celebration in 19. Stormtrooper. Now, I got one of my favorite bits is to switch out because I think the incongruity is always funny. So I was talking to two women at celebration. They'd heard that Rey was going to end up being a Palpatine. Who's the grandmother? Who's the mom? And I said, well, yeah, I really shouldn't say, but there is a young woman in Coruscant that I've been wooing. I've got a little song I'm going to sing to her when I get back. If you didn't mind, I'll try it out, see what she's like. I hope you don't mind. I hope you don't mind that I've put down in words. How wonderful life is when you're in the world. You think she'll like it? And I just like that little slip of like actually trying it, but then still doing the face. It's a good time.
Yeah. Oh my God, Graveyard just rickrolled me. How the frick do you get rickrolled in a comment section?
Oh my God, never gonna.
It's all right, Graveyard. I'm never gonna let you down.
It seems like these kids today spend so much of their time getting to know each other online. Like, what could be easier? Just change your screen name and all of a sudden you no longer exist. I mean, it used to be you had to say, we need to talk. I really just don't think it's working out. And now it's just like, boop, different phone. Who dis?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh no, I mean, there's the ones where they're like, okay, I'll call you, and then they never do, and you're like, what the fuck?
Well, that's been a thing since there were telephones, right?
Yeah, it was when there were telephones.
I don't know. So do we? So okay. So let me get an opinion here. Is ghosting a good way or a bad way to get out of something?
Bad.
I mean, you should always at least. Awful. Yeah.
Because it's cowardless. Gonna put on my Triforce of Courage here and be like, it's a cowards way out. Just do the courageous thing and just let them know.
Communication.
Communication is key.
Now, what if it's like a crazy creepo stalker?
Well, then I don't think it counts as ghosting. It counts as avoiding a threat.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done that. I've actually done that but this person was a stalker and they were really unhealthy. And it was just like, dude, and I already told them, like, leave me alone a few times. Finally, I was just like, you know what? I'm just not answering you anymore.
For real, dude.
Graveyard, I love that. Like, oh yeah, like I really would go out with you tonight, but like these weeping sores, it's kind of a thing.
I've got leprosy.
The doctor says I have to stay inside my house for 45 days, and if I'm still alive, I'm allowed out again.
Yeah.
Is ghosting the same as flaking?
I feel like flaking is less intentional.
Yeah, flaking is kind of less intentional, and I think it's more of a professional thing. Like when people flake, it's like, oh, I made two. It's almost I don't think it's as intentional as ghosting. I know people who've ghosted people.
It's not better
as well. It's not better. It's really especially when I worked at a studio, and people would flake it. He's here.
I'm so sorry. My computer's being such an asshole.
Ladies and gentlemen, the host of Kyber Cave After Dark. It is.
Hey, we're all hosts. Don't put this shit on me.
The main host of Kyber Cave After Dark.
The one who owns the site.
The one who's paid. The one whose money is actually being spent.
Exactly.
What's going on, y'all? I miss you guys. Woohoo! What's up, Brian?
Hey, Van. Good to see you.
I feel like it's like the battle of the two coasts right now or something.
Oh, West Coast versus East Coast.
You're in Florida, you said?
Yes.
I lived in Florida for 16 days in August of last year. I moved down there with a job.
Hey, Janina.
If it ever comes up, folks, moving to Orlando in August with a 3-year-old in the middle of a pandemic, bad combination. It just didn't work out. And honestly, for $3,500 a month, I expect less dog urine in the apartment. I mean, a little dog urine, yeah, sure, but like every room. So anyway, we're in North Carolina now, but I did enjoy the time in Orlando. We went to Disney and had an experience that my TripAdvisor review got me a 3-day free stay at the next Disney resort I go to. Like, I concluded my review with, but at least my daughter and I both got ringworm, so there's a treasured family memory that will always.
Definitely.
So thanks a lot, Disney Yacht Club. But they did make it right, so can't complain.
Wow, that's horrifying.
Van, what So what ghosting experience do you have?
Oh man, well, when we were talking about it at first, it reminded me of a bad mistake I made at Halloween one time, but it has nothing to do with what this ghosting is.
Now inquiring minds want to know.
Right, I feel like that's the next topic of the show is what Van just mentioned.
Yeah,
that's coming up next. What Van just mentioned.
That's a whole separate Halloween. But if this segment starts going dry, we'll go to that story because we are at Halloween time, right? So
yeah, Halloween time is great. This is why it's kind of fun. We all have
some Halloween related mistakes, I'm sure.
Oh God.
Yeah, do you guys? Well, first off, I know I missed a lot. I apologize, guys. But do you think ghosting's a new thing, or has it always been around?
No, I think it's
just easier.
Yeah, ghosting. It's one of those phrases that keeps popping up. This is not a new subject. It's like the quiet quitting thing. That is not new. Ghosting is not.
No, it's called quiet quitting. Is called having healthy work balance and healthy like boundaries.
Yeah, and then but people like these kids like to give these things, foofy names and act like it's all new. This is not new. This is not new at all.
Ghosting has been around at least since I was young. So
Can you believe that woman's not responded to my pigeon?
It's been around for a long time.
I sent an epistle the other day, did not come back.
Technically, I guess.
Honestly, William, you should flog her to death immediately.
She should be pulled to Papa Red Horses, really.
Cool, blimey, she stopped sending messages in a bottle to me.
Breakfast at Tiffany's. Technically, Holly Golightly was ghosting a lot of her dates. So I guess it has been around for a while. Sorry, I'm just going through all of these messages. No, you are.
I just have a friendly bot. Look at that.
Woohoo! We gotta love the bots. I just when people.
And it's so cute. It's like a little alien cat. It's so
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Sorry, I get to see all this great conversation that I missed. But when people type in, I like to make sure their little comments hit the screen. It makes me feel good.
That time Graveyard rickrolled 4s in the comments. That's
I love when it came out of nowhere.
It seems like at a con would be even easier to ghost because you just like change costume. No, that was similar.
Yeah, for real.
No, I don't know who you're talking about.
The other Deadpool.
I remember being like,
that's a good one, Van. You're right.
Yeah, I remember being ghosted.
Full face mask, very handy.
When I was like in second grade, and it wasn't like it was just like a friend. They were like, I don't know who that person is. I never hung out with her.
Oh, what a dick!
Yeah, I was in second grade. Broke my heart.
Jeez, I'm damn.
I was like, sorry, 5th grade.
My daughter's gonna be 5 in January, and we have a play date this weekend. And her when we set this up, I said, "Oh, did you ask your friend about our play date on Sunday?" And she said, "Yes, but she wants to have a play date with this other girl first, and I don't agree with that." It's just so sweet.
Poor baby.
I said, "Well, honey, she doesn't get to decide that. Her mommy has the car."
Graveyard.
Harry
put up Graveyard's comment. I want to read it. Not that one.
Which one?
The one from
that's good.
From what?
Graveyard. I want to read it out to everybody.
Let's hear it.
It's the last one. Not that one. Keep going.
It's beautiful.
I see Van.
It's great.
Beautiful.
Oh, what's up, Janina? Oh, sorry. Here we go.
Dear Severin, it has been a fortnight since I've last replied. I lost my leg in the war.
Unfortunately, he took an arrow to the knee.
Terrible. I read that phrase has some historical significance. That
I love you.
That used to be a metaphor for getting married.
What's that? Taking an arrow to the knee?
I heard that was actually had some historical significance.
Oh my!
He's been an adventurer like he was.
So I got it. That's from Skyrim, right? That's where that comes from.
Yes.
I played Skyrim as my methadone for World of Warcraft. And, it was kind of. I just love this again incongruity. So I played a Argonian, the lizard people.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun.
I got this Argonian assassin who is there's a big long arcing epic mission where you have to assassinate the emperor, and you do so by being by posing as this famous chef. And so the way that they don't believe that you're actually that chef, nobody knows the famous reclusive chef, but to pose as him, you have to get the chef's hat and wear it, and then add poison to the meal. And I got this great screenshot of me. So like, oh, and also I was a vampire. So vampire, lizard person, assassin, and like this ragged jester outfit with like 2 epic daggers, like dripping green fire and like blue steam, and chef's hat.
Oh,
Seems legit. I mean, yeah, he's got a chef's hat. Of course, he's a chef. Like, but what about like the daggers? No. He's a chef hat.
I trust you. It's a I trust you implicitly. It's like that trope of you look trustworthy of D&D. It's go join my party. You look trustworthy.
Yep, that's a charisma.
Yeah. I love that you used Skyrim as your as I love the methadone as your WoW. So you played WoW, Brian.
I brag about this a lot. My avatar currently the trainer and stuff.
Say that last part again.
Yeah, I started playing day 1 of launch. I was so involved in the community and like the community that when I left the game, Blizzard character in the game as an NPC. So to the day, if you go under learn engineering from engineering.
That's so cool.
I was the first forum MVP. It's a thing they have in the where you get like a different font moving avatar. I was one of the first 4 just for being on there and like, hey, it's like take it, paying for the don't like it stuff.
I don't know, you got so lost in the Matrix there, Brian.
I was gonna say, is anybody else having problems with Brian's audio, or is it just me?
He's become ghost.
Yeah, he's ghosting us.
Oh, dude, you gonna play us like that?
I just sent him a PM.
Okay.
Brian, check the private chat real quick.
Something's going on with your mic. I love WoW though. Well, I don't play it anymore, obviously, but I used to play a lot.
Same here.
A lot.
Same here.
I was an undead warlock named Miore, and she was great. She was crazy.
I was a dwarf named Gorn. For some reason, that suits me. I just had a long red braid.
Gorn. Really? You were Gorn?
GHORNN.
No. You know what I'm thinking of though, right?
No, please PM it to me. Just PM it to me. Oh, Harry says Comcast is ghosting Brian. You know what? I'm actually going to take offense to that because Comcast was such a bitch to me this entire week. Like, we've had an outage every freaking day. I was supposed to record, I think, Wednesday, my Last of Us episode, and we had no net at all. And I was like, dude. So now I had to freaking put it off till tomorrow.
There, I put it in your private DMs there, my love.
Ooh, the private chat.
Hey, I'm trying to find this old message.
I got it.
This message board is going so fast. Graveyard made a note somewhere back here that I want to remind everybody is just kind of a little housekeeping thing. We have a Discord now somewhere. I don't know what the address, I don't know how all that works. I really suck with technology, and I can't even find his comment now.
We have a Discord. What?
You're fired, Van.
What?
We have a Discord, so you can join the Kyber Cave Productions Discord, and there's already people on it. We have a Patreon, we have a YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram. We're moving in the world.
Yes, we only have one rule in the Discord though: don't be a harassing douche.
Don't be a dick.
Don't
There's
be a harassing
ghost in the machine. That's funny. I know you're going with that one.
Why the hell isn't Graveyard on with us right now? I have yet to meet Graveyard.
He should be, man.
Graveyard's already my friend, and I haven't even seen him face to face yet. And for some reason, that's not That's not fair.
I'm trying to convince Graveyard to do a show on our channel. Man. Dude, Graveyard's got all those fantastic games in his library. All right. Wait.
I just want to talk. Honestly, I just want to talk horror movies with you, dude. Because I feel like we would get along all over the place for that.
Yes, we did delete the old one. There was we basically nuked it and rebuilt a new one. So I know at some point
is Brian gonna get back in here?
If he gets back in.
Ooh, Harry's down too.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of a small crew tonight.
Woohoo!
Jeez, the ghosting is with everybody tonight.
Aaron, can you throw Harry a link?
Yes.
We can have Harry on right now.
I absolutely can.
And Graveyard too. And we can even throw Graveyard a link.
I'll send Harry an absolute link right to the channel. Absolute.
Right to the channel.
Haggis.
So, okay, did I miss anything? I don't want to be the only one that has like a sad story, dude. I got ghosted.
No, I've got some sad stories.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Because I don't want to be the only, the only douchebag.
I mean, it ends happily in a way, but it is sad.
Well, I mean, we're all where we are now, right? And I mean, you're in another relationship now, anyways, right? Okay.
Where am I looking? I gotta look this way. I don't know. Are you in another relationship?
I am. I wait. Is it this way? Yeah. I am. Sort of. I've got a Kyber husband now, so it's all good. And it's all okay because God damn it.
Is there a new link or an invite code? I will work on that.
It's okay. His wife knows about me and she's cool with it. It's fine.
Her exact words were, "She can have you."
Yeah.
Exact words.
I appreciate her.
Oh god.
All right. Hopefully Brian will get back on with us. Mezzo, if you are out there, if you could throw a link up. I don't even know what the link for the disc. Oh, server name. Probably pretty obvious. Server name is Kyber Cave Productions.
We're gonna have a photo bomber here in a second. Come on. I know you want to. Come on.
I'm throwing this to Harry. We are officially off the rails tonight. Like we have derailed. We have derailed so many freaking times.
Well, I mean, we have a new person on. When we have a new person on, you just could have to expect that.
Hey, you know what? Brian is a cool cat. He totally is.
I told you guys you would like Brian. Brian, we interviewed actually Brian for Saber Rattle. That's where I first met him. We used to do a segment called Cosplay of the Day, and we would interview, get an up close, like it was like a 15-20 minute segment, and we get up close and personal with some of these cosplayers. And he was one that we met that does a great Palpatine. I'm sure he did some Palpatine stuff.
Phenomenal.
He's a huge Palpatine fan, so and just his personality, I was like, dude, we gotta hook up. And we've been talking for like a year about like, oh, we gotta do something, and things just never really worked out. But that's why I was happy that he could finally come on tonight.
No doubt.
And hopefully he will be coming back.
Now, once you bring this next person in, I gotta introduce this cat.
Oh, well, okay, yes, you certainly can, because no, I'll let you know as soon. Well, as soon as anybody pops in. Did you send Graveyard one too?
I don't have Graveyard's DM. You do.
Oh, I do. Okay. Crap. I can do it off my phone. Wait, here we go.
Oh, there we go. And he's gone.
Ladies and gentlemen, you guys know me, and I'm a font maker in Saberland, but let me just introduce another one of the freaking greats, the legends, outstanding talent in Saber font making. Harry Solo Fonts is in the house. Let's go.
Howdy.
We need like a little noisemaker thing, like an applause.
I know. Get little bits of John Williams score. Just so you could play that. And stuff.
Dun, 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 dun. Yep.
Heck yeah.
What's up, dude?
How you doing,
Okay. Anyway.
Welcome to the cave, sucker.
How's it going?
It's going, man.
All right.
I'm going to jump out for a second. I'm going to try to figure out how to get Graveyard a message. Graveyard, I'm going to message you in the Kyber Cave DM. I'm going to jump out. You guys keep it going.
Okay, bye.
All right. Goodbye. Thanks for ghosting us, man.
Bye.
So we just got ghosted during our segment of ghosting.
Oh, jeez.
Harry.
Brian just ghosted us, and now Van ghosts us.
Van ghosts us, and they all gave us up and let us down.
I know. And then they turned around and left us.
And deserted us.
Yes.
Made you cry. They
said goodbye.
They didn't even say goodbye.
And they told a lie.
They did. That they would that they would never hurt us.
I'm hurt. Genuinely.
I know. I am totally hurt. Ghosted by the Ghostbuster. That's hilarious.
As the views drop and drop and yo, Kyber Cave's a bust tonight, bro. Let's watch someone else.
I know, right? Funny story. That reminds me of a parody I wrote. I wrote a parody about the Matrix. It's really funny.
Did you really?
It's a song. It's based on the parody of King of Pain.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the chorus goes, "I've been here
like
before."
Weird Al style parody.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's called "To End the Robot's Reign," and it's like, "I've been here before inside this empty room. I've been given a choice between the red and blue. I hate to say it, but I think they're insane that they're looking to me to end the robot's reign."
Oh my god!
Freaking yes! Oh god!
I mean, and I just kept going with it. Like, I really enjoyed the parody. That's fun.
Now you just need a full-on Trinity cosplay and then just do a video, like wrap it out.
Oh my god, that'd be great.
You know what's crazy?
I mean, it's in the style of Sting's King of Pain, so it's like there's a little. See, been here before inside this empty room. They've been giving me the choice between the red and blue. I hate to say it, but I think they're insane that they're looking to me to end the robot's reign. I can't sing very well, guys, because I have a cold, but.
Aw.
Going to work just another day. Look out, Neo Danger.
At the end of the show tonight, we'll be dropping Aubrey's information in the comments. You can link to her Spotify.
Yes, we are. So I think next week we're actually doing a formal premiere of BYL's first single, Mr. Sinister.
Yes.
So just in time for Halloween.
And speaking of Halloween and cosplay, and this has been on my mind lately, which is really weird, but I've considering that you've had your hair like that for a little bit now, I swear you could cosplay a perfect Lightning from Final Fantasy 13.
Oh, thank you. Actually, that'd be fun.
I can see it.
That'd be a cool cool cosplay to do.
No
also,
doubt.
I've noticed that the way my hair tends to fall, I'm like, oh, I could if I dyed it so it's like an auburn color. I could probably do it.
Have to though, because she's got the you just need like a little bit of silver, but she's got the pink and the silver going too, so that would work as well. And
I was talking about with Aerith because of the way my hair is falling.
Oh,
my hair falls, and naturally I could also probably do it.
We have officially ghosted our topic too.
Yeah, we're getting this shit back on track. That's what we'll do. Harry, how you doing, man? Thank you for being on.
Hey, brother, how you doing?
Oh man, life is beautiful. Is it any better than have to be two of me? Do you have any ghosting experiences? Have you ever ghosted anybody? Have you been that guy?
Man,
yeah, Harry, have you been a dick to somebody lately?
I mean,
and so there's different reasons, right?
Yeah, it takes me back to high school. I mean, just because I got out of high school 2013 when I graduated, so that's like the height of like the Facebook era and like the social media developing and all that. Yeah, and like I definitely had my fair share of people ghost me, and I still get it from time to time. But I think now maybe I'm more jaded, or maybe I'm just older, but I just don't even care anymore. I mean, I almost prefer it. If somebody ghosts me, then it's like, cool, thanks. It saves me time that I would have wasted elsewhere. It saves energy that would have gone elsewhere. I mean, go ahead, ghost me. And if you're going to ghost me, do it early so then I don't have to spend my limited amount of time on somebody that's just going to disappear.
Yeah, seriously.
Right. That is definitely a viewpoint of someone who's young in the younger generation. Ghosting hurts. I do not like being ghosted. It sucks.
Do you think it's more like socially acceptable nowadays? Like, I know we've talked about how it's always been around, right? It's just changed names over different generations or whatever, different groups. But do you think it's become more socially acceptable because the younger generation is more like tied in through, text messages and social media? Whereas, like I was reading this meme. Okay, so I'm from the Gen X crew. I'm from a little bit of the older crew. But, we were talking about how, when we called our friends back in the day, when I was in, high school or when I was a little kid, you usually had to talk to somebody's parents first. You know what I mean? You didn't just talk to your friend. You had to talk to their sister or whoever picked up the damn phone in the house, because there was one phone for everybody. You know what I mean? So social skills are like different now. Like now, people are so used to communicating by text. Even myself,
Yeah.
like I don't know, maybe it's just like it's not seen.
Well,
Do you think it's disrespectful?
I don't know. I don't think the level of disrespect has changed from it. I think nowadays everything has just gone down to such bite-sized bits. Like you were talking about how when in the old days, if you wanted to hang out with a friend or something, you had to call up their house and you talk to their parents or their sister. But nowadays, everything is compressed down to like a little message, which has maybe 4 or 5 letters in it. People can't even spell out whole sentences anymore. It's just like they'll send a message, and people these days don't have the energy to pick up their phone and type in a reply back, and that's a ghost right there. And I think that's part of it. It takes so much less energy to even initiate communication that it's so much easier to ghost people now. But I don't think the level of disrespect from it has changed, because it still hurts. It still hurts, and people hate it.
Yeah, I agree
What
with
about
that.
But then I also feel like especially God, I hate to be that old, get off my front lawn guy, you know what I mean? But with TikTok and everything, and with like these younger people like making up like, these mental disorders so they can be the victim, so they can get views, so they can
virtue signaling, yeah.
Right. When we have this thing, do you think maybe Janina says it's childish? Do you think maybe people are just too self-centered now? Like it's just all about me and fuck what the other person feels, or how how I'm they might be thinking about it.
There's definitely a lot more of that these days. I mean, just in the time that I've been alive, I'm only 28, but I can tell in the amount of time I've been here that there's that shift in like people's mindset about the concept of family and friends and relations, and it's just everybody's so self-focused these days.
Right.
And it's tough. It can be tough. Like I can count my true friends on my one hand.
Right.
And I have 500 something friends on my Facebook, right? But at the end of the day, and my mom always taught me with this. She said, when you die, you're gonna be able to count your real friends on your one hand. It's so true. It's so damn true.
Right. And yeah, as you get older, it gets harder and harder. I went to a class reunion recently. This is the 3rd class reunion that I've been to. And like, the group gets smaller and smaller, and the people that like, you realize, man, I've spent more time not knowing you people than I did actually knowing you people. You know what I mean? Like, you're just distant people, and you have no relevance. Not that they're not nice people, or that they're, you know what I mean, but they have no relevance in your life now. You know what I mean?
And it had no relevance in your life then.
No.
That's like that was like I went to my 20th a few years back, and holy crap, it's like I was still sitting at the same freaking table with like nobody, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, hey, it's Aaron. Hey, what's up, Dad? How you doing?" And off to their old cliques they go. I literally left the dinner early, and nobody even noticed I left. And I'm like, what the freak did I even come here for?
I don't know if this is just me, like a me thing, or if this is just my generation thing, but my class isn't even having reunions. They don't even have one scheduled or planned. I'm like, what? Like, I thought that was
a lot of work and organization. You got to have like people in your class that are like really want to do this shit.
Oh, sure.
It's like throwing a big wedding or a big party.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you can just see like the desire for that going down. Like people are just so focused on their quick bite-sized like day-to-day lives, and it's there's no connection to like, oh yeah, our past, old friends, old family. I like to go through and just like talk to old people on my friends that I haven't talked to in a while, try to reconnect out to them, like, hey, it's been years, how you been? If I don't get a response, beep, unfriend. Like
right.
Yeah.
And as you go through life, I don't know if you guys have had experiences with this, but I don't know, and I hate to feel that the older I get, the more jaded I become, you know what I mean? But it's like you have more life experiences, you meet more people in life. Some people are cool, some people are just, I say we learn something from everybody, but not everything you learn is what you wanted to learn. You know what I mean? Sure. But maybe it's what you needed to learn. But I've had people that, my homies since the 6th grade. I mean, we were the type of people that like we could separate for 5 years, but when we came back together, it was like nothing ever changed. And even when we kind of went in our different life directions, it was amazing how when we got back together, we were able to match up, and we were still interested in the same things as we got older. You know what I mean? And people that are ride and die for you, that you look at them, you're like, man, I can't imagine life without you. And then a year later, and you're like, man, dude, like, I can't believe I don't talk to you anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was kind of like that for me about 10 years ago. Like I ran with a crew from college, and then everybody got married, started having children, and then we all just kind of drifted apart.
It's these damn kids. That's what's the problem.
I made shoot, my best friends, like my best friends in the entire world, are right here on this screen and in Saberland. And like seriously, like y'all never even.
I didn't want to be left out.
And off the screen.
And off the screen. On and off.
One day, man.
Hey, Graveyard, I'm trying to figure out, dude, I suck at technology. I don't know if I know Mezzo's on there. Can we figure out how to get a link to Graveyard? I don't know, like I don't know if we know him personally. Didn't mean to
Graveyard, just DM Van if you can. If you've talked to him, just DM him real quick, and then
Brian messaged
the link.
in.
All right, there it is. Very cool.
Brian said I can't get a good connection. I didn't mean to ghost the whole show. All right.
I don't know why it's doing.
Hey. Somebody's jumping in. Hey. Oops. Oh, sorry. Oh, my bad. Hold on.
There you go.
There we go.
I'm overproducing here.
Jeez, man.
It's like having the ghost of God just jump in the middle of your broadcast. You're fucking up.
I'm a fan.
All right, well, you know what? Our topic is ghosting, and who better to talk to about ghosting than Graveyard himself, right? The man who runs the Spooky Podcast.
Dude, what's up, man? Good to finally meet you.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going. We got a whole brand new freaking crew on the screen here, man. This is awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, the new Kyber Cave.
I am right with you, Maz. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, I know you guys talking about your class reunions and stuff like that, right?
Right. Yeah.
I just had my 20th a couple months ago.
Oh man.
And also,
you feel old yet, Harry?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, mine's class of 03, so I have mine next year.
Yeah, and then like all of a sudden, I didn't go to my 10-year because my buddy was getting married down in Tennessee, so I was gone for that. But like the 20-year, people like, oh, you've changed the most. Yeah, I had hair. I didn't have tattoos everywhere. But they're like, okay, hey, you should hit me up. You should go, what's your phone number? I'm like, I haven't talked to you in 20 years.
Right. You could be an axe murderer for all I know by now.
Right. Yeah.
You got bodies in the basement. What are you trying to do? Fucking lure me into your cult?
You didn't call me then. Why would you call me now?
Right. And we barely spoke in high school too, and which is, I
have so many high school friends like that who are like my Facebook friends. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yo, we should catch up sometime. I guess. Yeah. No.
Yeah. Yeah, for the podcast, I'm like, all right, I unhid myself from Facebook. No one was able to find me. So.
Oh gosh, dang it.
Yeah, but for all of that, there were people that I was at the reunion, and I was like, man, I actually wonder how that person is doing. I don't really give a shit about these people over here, but I really would have loved to have run into, one or two people. So sometimes it makes a difference. Some of those relationships you still have fond memories of.
No, as I said, my audio was out for a little bit because my KVM died a couple days ago. Like it was so hot to touch, it was burning my hand to touch.
Oh man.
So, you guys talk about the difference with ghosting and being flaky, because you have friends that just flake out. Like I'll show up, we'll go and do stuff like that. Then you have people that say, hey, I'll hit you up, and they don't talk to you for like a year.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I definitely think there's a big. I think the intention is the difference, right? I mean,
Yeah.
We all get busy. We all have lives. We have friends that have the intention to get together, but some shit comes up. It's usually them damn kids. But that's not the same as having interest in somebody, and then all of a sudden they just go away. I think maybe the romantic part is another part of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because you're actually interested in this person romantically, as opposed to it just being, a friend that invites you to a barbecue.
Right. I mean, yeah, I don't know, because I met my wife in high school, so so it's been 20 years together. So
Wow.
I never had to worry about that.
Oh, congrats.
So, but no, I mean, I know people. I have a good buddy that he started talking to some woman, and she just stopped talking to him, just like stopped responding, like they're messaging every day, and just disappears.
Right. Yeah, so my story on this was and this is not the funny story. So I was actually talking to someone for a while, and and this is where it's kind of embarrassing, but we met through the internet. She was actually first started messaging me about things about Kyber Cave, and somehow we started talking about personal life and things like that, and it turned into this whole internet romance. But then we talked for like 5 to 6 months before I actually went out to meet her. And we were, I guess, as pretty serious as you can be, being across two different coasts. You know what I mean? We literally would talk or text message all day long, almost every day. She had a job where there wasn't a lot of she did customer service in the store, and there wasn't a lot of foot traffic. She was a manager, so we had time to text and talk, all day or whatever. And then when we went out and met, I don't know if it was because there was circumstances. Her job was like downsizing, and she had put in for a personal vacation for us to meet. And then while she's on vacation, she's hearing about all the people that are getting their jobs cut, and she's worried about not coming back from vacation with no job. Of course, that makes me feel terrible because I'm the reason she's taking this vacation time right now or whatever. Um, so, anyways, I don't know if it was just like the stress of all that situation. It just didn't it just didn't feel quite like I, I was expecting sparks and all this, and it just wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't that things were horrible. It just wasn't. And it felt more like I was visiting a cousin or something. um, and then when we got back, we talked some more, and eventually I changed my Facebook status back to single, and then because I just didn't feel like it felt like all the sparks had left when after we had met, uh, and then then she ghosted me, like completely cut me off, and which was I thought was very weird because I still really liked her and was hoping we could work through whatever, try to figure out was it just bad timing or what else was going on. But c'est la vie, that's life, I guess.
Do you guys feel that ghosting's? I know I heard a comment earlier that ghosting's harder now. I think ghosting's harder now because growing up in the 80s and 90s, if someone didn't answer the door, they didn't answer their home phone, you couldn't get a hold of them. Mm-hmm. So now this is a purposeful decision to ignore someone.
Right.
It's harder to stay hidden, but it's easier to go away.
Yes, thank you.
I mean, it's not like you can become friends with someone and then ghost them for 7 years and show up as an adult.
Yeah.
Well, and I think now again it comes down to intention because you used to when you were ghosting someone before, it was like you just didn't answer the phone or come to the door. Now, if you try to get a hold of them through their Instagram or their Facebook or their whatever else, like now you become a stalker. I think there's a little bit of a fine line now with all these different social medias. I don't know. Maybe it just doesn't affect them as much. Maybe people are just kind of used to it by now.
Truthfully, I think the ability to say and do and behave the way you want on the internet without getting your ass kicked as a consequence has turned a lot of people into some serious douchebags.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, grab me just a moment, please.
Speaking of douchebags. I
like Aubrey's comment. I think Aubrey's alluding to the Temple of Time.
I am. I was alluding to the Temple of Time when I was talking about, ghosting someone for 7 years and showing back up as an adult.
James. Oh, by the way, James, did you notice the cap that I was sporting tonight? Do people
Hey, James. Hey, buddy.
Do people not know how to deal or face tough issues? I think that's another thing. Like, personal responsibility seems to have gone to shit. Maybe that's part of the the quitting culture or the cancel culture or whatever, or the quiet quitting. But people, it just seems like nowadays you just do what you want to do and fuck the consequences, right?
It's even worse. And in my case, my ghoster kept coming back. And then ghost me all over again, and then come back, and then ghost me, and then come back and ghost me. I was like, what the fuck?
That sounds like gaslighting at that point.
Oh, it was well, like it was it was a guy I was with, broke up, came back, like I don't know, like 3 years later, was like, I'm so sorry. We started talking again, and then he was like, hey, I got it. And then one day it was like, here's some of my music. I'm like, cool. Here's something I've been doing with music. And he's like, great. I'll listen to it in a little bit. Didn't hear from him for like 11 months. I was like, what the fuck? Was so mad. And then he's like, I'm sorry. And then disappeared again for like a year. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, hi after 7 months?
Yeah. It was something like that. I was like, oh, hi. I'm like,
rent joke right over your head. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no. I got it.
Metzo would have caught it.
Why?
Oh, yeah.
After 7 months?
The question is, how many times would you let someone ghost you before you start ghosting them right back?
2. Because the first one, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. The first one is like, oh, hey, sorry, I work this day shift. I'm not allowed to have my phone on me. Whatever. And it's like, okay, cool. A week goes by after number 2. Haven't heard from you.
I mean, to be fair, this person was going through a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And so like I gave them, like, we're actually talking now and we're fine, but for a while it was like so awkward because it was.
But you're friends. You're not like romantically linked, right?
Right now, yeah, we're friends.
Right. I mean, I think that's like kind of the big difference. Between
we were friends anyways at the time. Like, we were not dating.
Right. Well, then that sounds like someone flaky.
And that was a big thing, at least. And that's partially it. Like, but he did some ghosting. We were like trying to get back together, trying to get things done. He did do that, and it caused a lot of problems. But like now everything's fine. A part of it was he was drinking, and it's never good when you have someone who's like an addiction.
Yeah. Well, that's a whole.
But it's like, when you have somebody, I'm trying to make it as vague as possible, but when you have somebody who's like not in a good mental space and went through a lot of trauma, and they're not in a good space and they're not being good to themselves, it's once I learned about a lot of stuff that was going on in his life, I was like, oh, if you just told me instead of just ghosting me, this would have been a lot easier. You just told me you were dealing with shit rather than just not talking to me.
Right. Do you? That's another question. Like, do you think it's okay? Like, let's say you go out with somebody and you meet somebody, and then you just like, maybe they're just like too much shit for you. Maybe you're like, oh man, this chick's gonna be like way too much drama. Like, I don't think I'm a good match for this type of person. Do you think it's okay? Do you think it's okay to tell somebody they suck, or should you just ghost them? Is maybe ghosting the better thing to do? What do you think, Harry?
I think.
What if somebody really sucks? Should you tell them they suck, or just peace out on them?
There's a tactful way to do that. I mean,
thank you.
Yeah, it's a tactful way.
Honesty is always the best policy. I mean, would I want somebody to be brutally honest with me on a first date like that? Absolutely.
Yeah, because then I'm not wasting my time waiting by the phone. I can be like, cool, next.
Is it fucking hard? Yeah. It is. It's really hard to get the courage to tell somebody, hey, you know what? I don't really want to hang out with you anymore, or I don't really think that, you're the best match for me, or we're right for each other, or whatever, however it needs to be phrased. But like, I think that can be one of the hardest things for somebody to do. Just be brutally honest with somebody. I think we need more of that collectively as a society. It seems like in this day and age, we're drifting away from brutal honesty being okay. It seems like anytime anybody gives brutal honesty, it's treated as an attack or like, you're trying to berate me. But it's like, hey, look, I'm just calling it how it is. I'm not trying to waste your time or my time. Like, I respect you, so I'm telling you this truth.
Right.
And sometimes it's not easy to hear, and it's definitely not easy to deliver. So,
well, and as I said, I know if I have a friend who actually ghosted someone she was dating. And the thing is that it was like, she just was uncomfortable, and she's like, he's a really, really good guy. So he's just really comfortable. So she like admitted that she was really bad at this. And it's really just because she just didn't want to upset him. Like, that was her whole thing. And so she's like, well, I just didn't want to upset him. So I just stopped talking. And it's like, no, that's awful. She goes, I know it's awful. And like, I didn't want to, like, there's nothing wrong with him. Like, he's great. It was all me. Yeah, but I'm not good at confronting people. And she just I was like, oh my God.
But then that's not taking personal responsibility for how your actions, affect other people. James says honesty is the best policy.
Honestly, absolutely is. I'm like, just tell this guy that you're not interested. She goes like, I don't know if I can do that. I'm like,
right. Yeah, James says really bad at this. It's not fair to the other person.
I can kind of speak on experience, like with a certain situation with a family member. I have a family member that's like really not right up here, and they really keep abusing this and others things, and it's gotten to the point where I've had to basically just cut them out of my life completely.
But that's different. And I would say that's different.
But they are family, so I'm always gonna like love them, and they have that place in my heart, and I will still talk to them when they reach out to me, and I will still like conversate with them by the phone. But like, they constantly will ask me for things like, can I come stay with you, or can I have some money, or can I have this? And I just have to be like, no.
How about
like,
Scott?
I just have to cut it off, and then they start getting really nasty, and that's when it starts coming full circle. And it's like, okay, look, this is why I'm cutting you out, because when I say no, you go here, and then you turn into this terrible person. You start saying these things about me, and then it comes back up to here again, where I don't talk to you for 2 years, and then you're coming back saying, oh, I'm so sorry. And it's this endless circle, and it's been going on for my entire life. And I'm like, look, this is just, we're done with this. I'm not playing with this anymore. I'm not going to enthuse this anymore.
Toxic
yeah,
people.
dude. Absolutely.
I mean, this kind of reminds me of a completely different situation. Like, that's like that person is toxic, and it's a pattern, and it's a cycle, and everything is creating trauma by it. And there is a point where you're like, just, it's okay to say, yeah, exactly, James. It's okay to say no to people you love.
Right. And, especially the second part.
To me, that's different than just ghosting.
Issues.
Yeah, you have to. Sometimes tough love is the best thing, and some people are never gonna get it. Some people, those gears are never gonna start turning, and it's a shame, and it sucks. But you can't let yourself fall victim because of somebody else's actions and what they do, and like, you can't let them become something that drags you down into like a lower quality of life.
All right, maybe this is only slightly related to ghosting. I'm trying to play scenarios in my head. Why would somebody ghost? But like, let's say you go on a date with somebody, you meet somebody on a fucking app or some shit, and you go on a date with them, and you don't see it because they've got all these like poses and stuff, but they got really fucking horrible teeth. Is it okay to ghost that person?
No,
because you're not going to tell them they have horrible teeth. They know that.
Tell them No. You
I
just
mean,
tell
you
them,
could.
hey,
You could just say, hey, your teeth bother me. It's just not going to work out for me. I mean, maybe that might be their incentive to go look into dental care. Or maybe that might be their incentive
to jump off a bridge.
Well, like I said, it goes back to having a tactful way. There's a right and a wrong way to say it. You could say, "Whoa, dude, you got to fix those fucking chompers. They're fucking idiots, man." Or you could say, like, "Hey, I can give you a number to my dentist." There's a right
so
and a
much
wrong
more
way
subtle.
to do it.
I mean, I think if I was in that situation, I was dating or something like that, I would rather be told this isn't working out and get that closure than to have that question in the air.
Right.
Just print out a little comment card and keep it with you everywhere. Just like at the end of the date, slide it across the table and be like, okay, are you extremely satisfied or not very satisfied? Fill in the bubble.
How was our service?
Comment card.
Yeah. You get a little bubble card.
This is why if you don't think this date is gonna work out, you can choose yes or no.
That's the future. That's the future.
That's almost the Black Mirror episode with the star ratings when you interact with people.
Oh God,
it's gonna be tied into your social credit rating.
Yeah.
Your social
credit can't with society anymore. Oh my God. Jeez Louise, with the travesty that Saberland has turned into, now this, come on.
All right, we're coming up near the hour point. We're gonna get ready to switch. I think we've done this one. This next one,
time to go.
Surprise that we're doing. But before we do that, I am going to regale you with my Halloween story from when I was a child.
Spooky.
Okay.
Okay, so I told you I had a best friend like since the 6th grade. That we kind of grew up together. He was the one that it was kind of sad that we broke apart or whatever. So in the sixth grade, first off, you have to know that I grew up in a Vietnamese household, which means my mother did not speak English and she did not know very much about the American culture. Right? I didn't grow up watching like a lot of like American TV and stuff like that. So I thought it would be really funny if for Halloween I went as the Holy Ghost. And so my idea for a costume was to take a bed sheet and then I cut holes in it so that I had holes to be the Holy Ghost, but then I was wearing white underneath it so that you couldn't see that there was actually holes in it. And then my mom made like this like superhero like head thing. The only thing that saved me, I had a big cross with the cape on the back. The only thing that saved me from totally not looking like a KKK member was that I didn't have like a pointed head. But I went to school like this, not knowing anything about the KKK. And my mother, of course, not knowing anything about that and helping me make this costume. So my best friend is black. So when we went trick-or-treating that night and I came to his house, his dad, who grew up in Mississippi, damn near had a heart attack when he opened the door and saw this little Asian boy in what looked like a KKK outfit with a little fucking Halloween basket in his hand. So that is my Halloween horror story. Years later, like his mom is like, I totally love her to death. I call her my other mother. But they had a Halloween. I don't know if you ever saw the Great Pumpkin episode with Charlie Brown where he makes the ghost costume, but there's like too many eye holes in it. So I got her that little like ornament for Christmas so that she would always remember what a dumbass I was.
Okay, so did they take you in and did they explain to you like what was the problem with that?
No, that beautiful woman took me out trick-or-treating with her son, going house to house and never said a damn thing to me.
So how did you find out that it was really close to a KKK costume?
Because everybody else in the world told me.
Okay.
She was just sweet enough not to break it to me and to still fucking take me trick-or-treating.
Well, you didn't know any better. I mean, that's a great story, though. That's love, though, I have to say. It's love.
That is
I commend your best friend and his mom. Like, his mom, she's a goat.
All right.
5 stars.
His dad, however, damn near had a heart attack. All right. So, having said that, just want to remind you that we are not affiliated with Lucasfilms or Disney, because I don't think they would want any of this mess. All right, you guys ready for our next topic? I can't believe we're even going here, but here we are. Dick pics, and what are they trying to accomplish? Man, I feel like I wish Brian was in here for this one.
So do I. I wish he was in here. I don't know why he's not here.
He was saying he was having a bad connection.
Is dying of laughter. Look at
it. Dick pics. Hey, what are they good for?
Absolutely nothing.
This is the real heavy topic of the night.
So first off, do you think this has ever worked in the history of ever?
No.
What, define worked?
I mean, like, do you think some guy like sent a dick pic and some chick was like, "I am on my way over"?
Oh, just like a cold.
Yeah,
call,
just a
like
bing. Here's a dick.
I don't think so.
Okay, wait. For Aubrey, being the only female on the board, how often does it? Okay, this started as a conversation because you got sent like 2 dick pics in a day or something, right?
A week, yeah. I got a dick pic sent to me by someone I barely knew. I didn't even know them, like maybe.
Wow. Yeah, where's Anthony
like
on this
maybe a week, and I got a weird dick pic, and I was like, okay, I'm kind of part of the course. So I was like, all right, I have to get another from Australia, and I was like, okay, this person is just wonky, whatever.
Right.
I'm like, okay, whatever, I'm just gonna ignore it. But this other person that I actually had like a more of a business thing, and we hadn't spoken in like 6 months or almost a year. He tried to get me to be in one of his music videos. And like, yeah, and I was like, okay, well, send me a contract because I'm a musician and we can collaborate, whatever. Nothing ever happened from this, and I just basically ignored him. And yesterday he just sends me a dick pic.
Just out of the blue.
They're taking one right now.
Out of the blue. I was like, seriously? And he goes into the diatribe like, oh man, I love you so much, and I'm a little drunk right now, so it's giving me the courage, but I just want you to see how I feel for you.
That's always an attractive
all
line,
the time.
Right?
I was like, oh, this is attractive. So I sent it to the group. I didn't send the dick pic, obviously, to the group chat, but I said, I'm like, oh my God, I just need to share in this pain, guys. I just got dick picked.
Wow.
Second time this week.
So, I mean, how often, for a female, how often does this happen? Not to mention, okay, that's a whole nother side topic I didn't really think about, but just like how many times
in the last year, I've been pretty
have
lucky.
to deal with, oh, come be in my photo shoot or be in my music video, knowing for goddamn well there ain't no fucking shoot or video. They're just trying to, they're trying to lay down the pipe.
So I had one where a guy said he was a photographer and he wanted to do a photo shoot. And we had a series of photo shoots we were going to do. I'm a model. I've modeled before. And then, like, we talked about the different types. And then out of the blue, he was like, so have you ever done lingerie pics? And I was like, that's kind of, I don't know you. Like, I'm doing a thing, I'm doing this for you to kind of help, like, we're doing this, like, as a, I'm going to help you do this for your portfolio. You're going to do this. That's a little bit beyond, especially for, like, a first time. And he was like, well, these are the pics that I have, the pictures. And, they looked nice, but I was like, and I met him in person, and we talked, and we agreed to, like, meet in an open and do an open shot. And he just, and that was a little strange. And I was like, this is not really comfortable for a first photo shoot, especially since I don't know you. And then he was like, hey, after the photo shoot, he's like, well, why don't you come? So it went to going out in the open and meeting somewhere in an open area to do a photo shoot. He's like, well, hey, maybe you should come to my studio in San Francisco. And then after that, it was, hey, after, like, it needs to be later in the day. It kept getting pushed to later and later in the day. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, hey, after the photo shoot, we should go out for dinner to celebrate photo shoot. And I was like, And he's like, yeah, just come on. And I was like, I don't think this is good. And then he was like, you know, and have a little bit of wine. And I was like, I don't really trust this at all. So like it was all red flags, like just, you know, ringing in my
Someone
head.
has their speakers on.
Is somebody taking an order of Jack in the Box or something?
Good job.
Is that you, Harry?
Good job, Harry Solo.
You can always mute your mic too.
He did.
Yeah,
he did.
sorry, that was
okay.
me. It was my radio.
Sorry, my bad. All right, go ahead.
But anyways, so yeah, so then I was just like, so more and more, I was like, this does not feel right. Something feels completely wrong about this. And so, and he had already give me some curly fries.
I saw that.
And that was what happened, because this happened like earlier this year, late last year. So we'd had a meeting actually, and the hour before I was supposed to leave to go and meet him at this place, he canceled on me. So then we were going to meet up again, and this was going to be at his studio. I'm just remembering some of these details because there was a point. Because this next part, so I wasn't feeling okay about it. I talked to a couple of people, and I was like, this doesn't feel right. And they're like, if it doesn't feel right to you, I'm like, this is not protocol for a modeling thing. Like, okay, well, if you're don't feel good, just don't do it. So I let him know the night before. I was like, hey, look, I just don't think this is a good idea to meet like this. I don't think it's, because I was feeling pressured, him trying to pressure me into like having dinner and drinks with him. I'm like, this doesn't feel very professional, and I'm sorry. And he just went off on me.
Jeez.
Like completely, like, oh, you are so unprofessional. How dare you cancel at the last minute and not going to get that studio time back. And oh my God.
Wow.
It was just, and made it seem like I was the one being super unprofessional. And that's like, that's an equal red flag there.
There's too many of those Harvey Weinstein assholes who think that just because they do something cool, that everybody has to fuck them.
Oh yeah.
So why? I mean, okay, let's break this down. I personally, let's say I have never sent an unwelcomed dick pic.
An unsolicited.
Whoever, let's put it this way: if I ever have sent one, the person knew it was inbound, right? It wasn't a surprise. But why do you think? Why do you think people like do this? Do you think it's like, is it a sense of like power or something? Like maybe it makes them feel good to make other people uncomfortable, or I mean, do people actually think they're going to hook up with someone this way?
So let's look at it in very real today's society terms. There are, in fact, people who send them and get the response that they want. Let's go ahead and just call a spade here. There are people who do this and they get what they want. Therefore, they continue to try it. Some people do it because they're trolls. Lots of people do it because they're trolls.
Right.
Others do it because they just want to get a laugh. They just want to laugh. That's it. They snap a picture, they send it out, they get this terrible response, and they're like, "Oh my God, look what I did! I made them cringe." And then other people are like, "Okay, well, you know, I'm really into this chick, so I'm gonna send a pic right here, and she's gonna get with me when she sees it." Honestly, believing that.
I think that's what he honestly believed.
Yeah. So.
This guy that sent it this week, oh yeah, because I sent back a really, really like over the top response, courtesy of Phil, the mansplainer.
Freaking Phil was.
Oh God, wasn't it beautiful?
I read all of that. I read
because I was like,
yeah, because I got in at the end of the day and I was like, what comedic thing did I just miss here? And James was like, it's freaking, yeah. Comedy gold, and I read every bit of it. I was like,
I hope you laughed.
You were leaving the entire audience out, guys. The side, you got. If you're gonna tell a side story, you got to tell other people what your side story is.
I am so
Otherwise,
sorry.
Take that shit to a hotel.
All right.
I was trying. Okay, I was trying to give you guys. So when this guy dick picked me, I sent a message to everybody in Kyber Cave. I'm like, you need to like go and like, I need someone to experience my pain with me. This dude just dick picked me out of the blue. This is somebody I had not spoken to in at least 8 months. This guy tried to do a business deal. I told him to told him to have his agent send me a contract. Never happened. He said it was for supposedly a lot of money. This guy would try to call me sometimes, and then I hadn't heard from him in at least 6 months. And then out of the blue, he sends me this dick pic. And I'm like, what the fuck? Seriously? Wow. And he's like, and as I said, he was saying all this stuff like, oh, you know, I just really want you and I'm drugged. This is why it's giving me the courage. I just want to let you know I'm in love with you. It's true love. All this stuff, right? So I'm sending this to the chat. And so everyone's sending like, oh, you need to just say this, just say this, just say this. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe, I don't know, that might just encourage him. And then Phil the mansplainer, I love him. He's
Distance
funny.
nerding.
Distance nerding.
Distance nerding. Our distant nerding friends, James included, because James, your comments were hilarious too. I mean, I almost sent your comments because your comments were gold. But like, so James and Phil were like the first ones. They were like, what's going on? You're being harassed. Hold on. We can't have our sister here being harassed. Hold on. This is what you should respond to.
Champion style.
Oh, I know. They were amazing. They were like, here, I got this served up on a silver platter for y'all. I was like, these are my bros, man. My OGs. I was like,
okay, you're still not getting to what they said.
Anyway, so, well, I could read it, but it's so anyways, so what what Phil said was to tell this guy, nah, dick pics are too blasé. What you really need to do is just send a butthole pic. That's the new thing.
Yee.
Just to see how much this guy would go, right? And then Phil, he's giving me hard so. And then he goes, I don't know if it was Phil or if it was James. I'd have to go check, but I think it was like, hey, if it's not bleached, hit the beach. It needs to be Brazilian wax.
Okay.
So I copied it and sent all of that basically to him. And his response, another dick pic. Even worse than the one before. I was like, oh, I think he might be into this, guys. I don't know.
Oh, man.
So then I just blocked him.
Did it have a visible wart in the second one?
It was worse than the first one. Was
it wearing a party hat? And like googly eyes?
No. God, at least the first one was just sort of covered, like underwear on. It was just gross. But then the second one was like just from here all the way down naked. I'm like, oh God, I don't need to see this dude.
The creeping turtle?
Yeah, yes. The creeping turtle.
Have you thought about trolling him back and sending a dick pic back to him?
You know, that was brought up.
Thought about it. It was brought up. I thought about it, and I was like,
Here's mine.
I was gonna say, not bad, bro. Let me show you mine.
I thought about it, but I was just like,
maybe
I don't
next
know.
year, sport.
This was the second dick pic I got this week. I was just not in the mood to like even respond that way.
Wow.
I mean, I could have, but I didn't feel like I don't want to go through the effort of like trying to find a penis picture and sending it to him. I don't want the effort. I don't know. Dick pics are so annoying. They're just awful.
See, guys don't just get random vagina pics, dude. Like, it's just not, it just doesn't occur in our world.
I have gotten so many dick pics, and I always feel personally affronted whenever I get them. Unless I'm in a relationship with you, don't send me your dick. Just don't. It's gross. Like, if you really want to try to woo me, send me pictures of swords, like legitimate swords, not
real
not
swords, real ones,
real swords,
not daggers.
Like Kikuichimundi, like my red, like my. By the way, that main name means chrysanthemum. Just want to let you know. That's why I named him that. I had to look it up. I was like, oh yeah, that's why I named it, because it's the color of red. Anyway.
All right, what do we got? Does anybody in the audience ever received a dick pic or sent a dick pic? And if so, why? No judgment. That's
no judgment.
Yeah, no judgment at all. If this is something you've done, again, I have never done it. You know, what do you call it? Unsolicited. But anybody else have any thoughts or ideas or on this one?
I can give you a story from not of my experience, but I went to a ThoughtCon in Chicago a couple of years ago for its IT security stuff, and they did a.
I thought you meant thought like hose or something.
No. So, one group that presented, all those recycle bins at Best Buy that you'd throw your old cell phones away in,
right.
recycling. You're able to buy those, and a group bought like 200 phones, and then got all the data off of it. They ran numbers about how many dick pics and all that stuff was on the phones. They said it averaged 7 dick pics a phone
per phone.
Wait,
out of the 200?
Yeah.
Okay, then you got to. Well, I didn't.
Well, this is averages, so we have to think of like averages. So it's like one person probably had like 1 or 0, or there were probably a couple where there weren't any, but a couple where there was quite a few, and so it averaged out to 7.
I wonder.
The median is 7.
Right, because there's got to be a lot of because I will tell you, my phone has no dick pics on it at the moment. So a lot of those phones have to be like void of dick pics, right? So that means some of those phones have got to be fucking loaded with dick pics. Yeah. And I'm wondering, are those females collecting them, or males like taking? Here's my dick at the beach. Here's my dick on mountain climbing. Here's what
Hey, if you're gonna send a dick pic, be creative about that dick pic.
That's what I said. Googly eyes in a party hat.
Yeah, that at least would have been funny. That would have made me laugh. That would have been like, okay, you're cool.
Space shuttle.
I mean, I still don't want to see your dick pic.
Yeah.
Huh?
So a space shuttle with some rocket exhaust.
Yeah, I mean that would have at least been interesting. At least I would have been like, okay, at least you're creative. This is not even creative. Like, be creative.
No. How about like you get that really like furry underwear that's like an elephant's head, and you shove the junk into the freaking elephant's trunk? And
wow. Have you ever seen that movie? There was an old like an '80s movie. It was a Blake Edwards movie, and John Ritter was in it. That's how old this movie was.
Wow.
But there was a scene where like he's having an affair with like some guy's wife or something, and she gives him a glow in the dark condom, and he puts it on and it's green. So the scene is completely black, but then all of a sudden you see the condom unwrap and he puts it on, and then you just see it like bobbing across the screen. But then all of a sudden the husband comes home, and then like he runs in the closet with his green condom. Then you see a red condom bobbing out, and then he finds him in the closet, and they get into a fight, and you just see him like all over them. Have you ever seen that movie?
No, but it sounds like
I can't remember what it's called. It's a Blake Edwards movie with John Ritter.
Vaguely familiar.
I can't even imagine John Ritter playing a part like that.
I could play. I could see young John Ritter playing a part like that.
Skin Deep. Yes. Who found that? Was that you, Graveyard?
Yeah.
Should have known that would be Graveyard that found that. Nice. Skin Deep. Yeah. I can't remember anything in that movie except for that scene, dude. That scene is just... And you can find it on YouTube. You can find just the little clip. Because like I said, it's all black except for, a little red and a green little stick jumping around the screen.
I love that, James. James, dress it like it's Game of Thrones. Yes, if you have Tyrion dick, that's pretty great.
Just saying. But with the idea of the convention, what they did was essentially security for telling people to like delete stuff off their phones.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because you never know. You do all this stuff, and we've had cell phones for 20 years. Normally, most people had cell phones for about 20 years now, and just all that stuff you throw away. Then you have more people that buy these phones, and then you have more dick pics out there unsolicited that you're surprised by at that point.
I'm really sad. I have all of my
default settings
still. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I don't throw away cell phones. I have every cell phone I've ever had.
So do I.
Wow.
Yeah. It's the same thing I do with hard drives. I don't throw away my hard drives. I keep all my hard drives in case there's stuff on there. And I've destroyed, professionally graded destroyed hard drives before too.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Wow. I unfortunately don't have a lot of my hard drives, but I've got a lot of my data from those ones because I have serious PTSD of losing data. So I'm like, can't lose data. Where'd he go? He ghosted us. We just got ghosted.
He had to plug his PC, and he said,
no. But yeah, dick pics. I mean, if you're not gonna be creative about it, don't send it. Just don't do it. The woman does not want it, especially if she doesn't know it's coming, bro. Just don't do it.
Now, do you think do you think they're okay if you're in a relationship?
I do. I do think they are okay in certain circumstances. And if, like, I mean, you know, everyone's different. I do think that I'm not going to judge if you're going to get send a dick pic to your girlfriend. Great. Because she's probably already seen it before and she probably loves it.
Or doesn't.
You know, or doesn't. But and then that's a personal problem. I mean, if it's between the two of you, great. Like, I don't, there's no judgment there. I'm not going to judge. Like, I'm never going to judge anyone for that. But it's that, then it's not an unsolicited dick pic anymore, then. It's just
right.
Not.
Likely, you would probably already know if you're at that stage where it's acceptable in your relationship.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, if you're just starting out in a relationship and it's new and you guys haven't like done anything yet, then that might be a little boundary crossing.
Yeah, I had a buddy a couple years ago that he thought he was just the greatest thing on earth, and any woman he met, he would send a pic.
Oh God.
Oh, that troll dick.
Why do this thing? Why?
And
okay, but what was his point? Was he trying to make them uncomfortable, or was he seriously trying to hook up with these chicks?
Oh, he was seriously trying to hook up with these chicks.
Like, he thought this was a real technique that would work?
Yes.
Did it ever work for him as far as you knew?
That's what I was gonna ask. I'm confused.
If they got enough beers in them, yeah.
Well, okay. I guess that's
that's a whole separate conversation, though.
I was going to say that, again, that goes back to my point of there are people in society who are, you know, as much as they want to send it, there are folks who want to receive it.
Yeah,
I've gotten, I mean,
out there.
And I've gotten a dick pic, I mean, from someone I was talking to on the Facebook dates. I was trying it out just for shits and giggles to see how it was. Talked to a few people. I was like, oh, okay, cool. This is not really for me. I'm not really let's go. Maybe yes. See, James, this is you just coming up with all the ideas, man. You're just the idea guy.
Meet the phone average.
What?
Oh my God.
Pretty
oh
bold.
My God. I just had the most horrible vision in my head. Like, we're talking about, okay, this is what it's like to be inside my mind. We're talking about all these dick pics, and then somewhere in my head, I envision dick pic theater, and just like all these erections with different costumes on, acting out like a Shakespearean
that
theater.
Would be funny. Actually, so
dick pic theater presents.
Isn't there a play where they do those puppetry?
Yeah, well,
there's
this movie. So there's this movie that I saw. It was like this movie, this small. I don't remember what it was called. This short film. I remember what the film was called, but it was actually like, and my ex-boyfriend showed it to me, and it was of this kind of, at first almost flaccid penis, right? And then it starts singing, and it's just getting like more and more erect, but it's singing.
Wow.
And it like the little hole is like moving. And it's just, I'm like, at first I'm like, why the fuck are you showing me this? And then it starts singing. And I'm like, oh my God, this is actually really surreal and actually hilarious. And I'm laughing at the end of it because it's so funny.
Oh, does anybody here watch The Boys? Speaking of dick.
I knew somebody was going to go to season 3. I knew it.
I had a hard time watching past like episode 2.
Oh man, yeah, season 3.
Trigger warning. It needed trigger warning. Like,
that was
I got
painful.
So bad.
That was
so
painful.
painful to watch. I was like, I can't watch anymore. I'm too triggered to watch this. Like I got serious flashbacks. It was not good.
Season 3. I think that was like the opening episode too. Had one of the most horrific. Yes, say Wong, the explosion. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Had one of the most horrific deaths I have ever seen in my life, and it was funny because it was what a lot of people theorized before Endgame about, you know, if Ant-Man went up Thanos' ass, could he expand and like, you know, blow up Thanos?
You know, I did that in a game once.
Which game?
A D&D. This is for the New Order. A game. We'll probably be streaming a session of the game with people with their own characters and everything. But I played a beastling character, a rat, and he would go and burrow into people's skin and then turn back into a human and have them explode from the inside out.
Oh.
Jeez Louise. At that point, I would just throw a bag of holding inside of a bag of holding and call it a universe. Boom.
I mean, Red was a he had to work on he had to do certain things. Okay, he had problems. He had issues.
Oh.
Imagine going inside someone's dick and exploding, dude. And
I mean, he's not that small. He's a rat.
He could probably have survived that too, which would have been even more horrifying. Because it's not like he went inside his guts, right? He only went, But oh
Who?
my god,
Who are you talking about?
what a horrible way to go out. I'm talking about The Boys.
3.
Season 3. There's a guy called the Tick, I think, or not the Tick. He was the termite, and he could grow. He was like basically like Ant-Man. He could go really tiny or he could go big. And so he was at this hero-gasm party, and it's all these like superheroes having orgasms in very strange and crazy ways. And he goes he gets really tiny, he goes inside this other guy's penis, and then he like sneezes and expands and blows the guy up.
Of all the Kyber caves for Dave to miss, he misses the one about dicks.
I know, he misses.
And Anthony would have loved this.
I know. Anthony and Dave both, our most raunchiest members, and they are missing all about like the genitalia episode. This is so funny.
And we bring new guests on the show about dicks.
What y'all get me into? What do you get me into?
Congratulations, guys! This is your initiation.
Yes,
Legit Jedi, what is going on? Yes, death overdose. That was crazy.
Hello, legit Jedi.
Has anyone in the audience? Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Rick James.
Oh my god.
What kind of man goes to another man's house and sits on his couch and puts his dirty ass feet all over his couch?
We can combine the topics and has anybody ever sent a dick pic and then ghosted on someone?
Oh my god, yeah.
Well, would a dick pic be a good reason to ghost someone?
That's a good reason to ghost someone.
That is a good. I have not. That is a good reason to do it. Actually, I usually give them warnings. I'm like, do it again. I'm not talking to you anymore. And then they do it again. I'm like, well, yeah, just pulled the goodbye button.
That's pretty generous of you. There are certain red flags that when these red flags come up, there is no second time.
I only did that once, and it was the first time I think I ever had gotten dick picked. And I'm like, all right, because we were having this conversation. All of a sudden, he just sends me a dick pic. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that's not sexy. Don't do that again. Like, if you do it again, I'm not gonna talk to you anymore. That's just not what kind of person I am.
I wonder if like people use like filters and shit now to make their like dicks look more buff or like.
I'm sure they do.
Oh, geez, Photoshop, absolutely.
If Kim Kardashian can make her ass bigger with Photoshop, then I'm sure guys are doing it with their schlongs.
That is a good point.
The bend and warp tool does magic.
Oh my god, they're gonna use
drag.
What's wrong with that door frame?
Just to make it, like a little bit more presentable. They're just gonna elongate a little bit and then
It's as long as his arm. And it's got an elbow. It's a gutsy move, but an honest move. It's like fishing. Someone's gonna bite. Catfishing, motherfucker.
Well, I'm surprised we haven't brought out the naked man from How I Met Your Mother. Works every 2 out of the 3 times, right?
The naked man?
How I Met Your Mother.
I don't watch that show. Tell me.
I don't watch that one.
So
who watches that show? All right, go ahead.
So they meet a guy who, when he goes on a date, they go into the apartment. Robin Scherbatsky, played by I can't think of her name.
Willow? Is it
Toby Smulders? Toby Smulders.
Oh, okay. All right, never mind. All right.
He goes to the bathroom. He comes out. And he's fully naked. He's pulling the naked man, and he tells Ted Mosby, I don't remember his name, but then I can't think of his name. Neil Patrick Harris.
God.
Yeah.
Yes, Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah. They'd say that. Oh, he's like they're they're talking about like he was naked. Yeah, they talk to the guy. He's like, yeah, works every 2 out of 3 times, and then they show the clip of 3 of the guys performing the naked man. It works for 2 of them.
Wow.
The girls were already kind of horny, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm into this." Otherwise, that's assault.
Well, it's not assault if you're not touching anyone, right? It's just gross.
No, that's pretty assaulty. That is putting someone in a really uncomfortable situation. You're
Aubrey,
that's not technically assault.
Private chat, Aubrey.
I'm checking the private chat. I'm checking.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Ladies and gentlemen,
welcome to Kyber Cave After Dark.
Let us just
we'll
take
traumatize your 9-year-old.
Let us just remind the audience that this particular 2 hours of YouTube time is meant for those age 18 plus.
Right.
We would ask that keep younger viewers.
Right. It says it right there at the bottom of the screen.
Keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times, and
your discretion is advised.
We want to remind all of our audience, but especially the person who produces the show.
We're going to talk about that tomorrow.
Oh no, this is going to be like, I'm so sorry, Mezzo. I'm so
Don't
sorry.
call her out on the internet.
I'm sorry. You heard nothing.
Wow.
No one heard anything.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, these are Forza's best friends.
Wow.
No, I didn't mean to.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I'm sick. I have a cold, guys.
That's
I'm
awesome.
just gonna do my Vanellope impressions, okay? I'm sorry.
All right. We are. I think we're kind of past this, huh? It sounds like we're kind of over the.
Oh, I'm so over.
The D-Pics.
That's all right.
Say
actually,
one. Don't make
don't say that. Since we have 2 guests and they both provide a pretty important service, why don't we highlight what they do, starting with Graveyard?
I think that's fantastic. Who are the people in your neighborhood?
Me.
In your neighborhood. In your neighborhood. Graveyard.
Hi, I'm Graveyard. I am a co-host of the Mostly Pilot Night Mostly podcast. We do horror movie reviews. This month we've been watching 31 or 32 movies. We're doing deep dives into all of them. Part 3 of the 4-part Halloween series is coming out Sunday.
Wow.
So I have 3 more to watch for this recording that we're doing this weekend. And then we have all 5 VHS movies coming out as well.
Wow.
Doing this.
So when you do these kind of specials where you're like, we're going to watch all of the Friday the 13th, or we're going to watch all of the Nightmare Before. Oh, speaking of which, God damn it, my Saber is not my battery's dead. But I got I was thinking of you. I got a Nightmare Before Elm Street font on here, as well as 3 of our man Mr. Forza's fonts down there, and Juggernaut's Wrath is my main one. Anyways, when you
Graveyard, I would love to talk to you about all these horror movies. I love horror movies.
When you have these marathons, if you've already seen a movie in the past, do you refresh yourself and rewatch the movie?
Yep, absolutely. Because we did the part 3, we're calling it the timeline everyone loves to hate. So it's Halloween 3 and the 2 Rob Zombie Halloweens. Right. They don't really fit in the stuff.
Yeah. It's really interesting because Halloween 3, because they were trying to make it like an anthology. It just didn't work.
He wanted Halloween 2 to be Halloween
completely
3.
Separate.
John Carpenter wanted to be anthology from the very get-go. The studio said no. Yeah. And as Sal and I discussed, we talk it like Halloween 3 is the Super Mario Brothers 2. It's the Zelda 2 of the franchises because it's the one outlier in that series.
Oh my God! Somebody gets it. Oh,
yeah. No. It's totally that is exactly what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I agree with you completely. It really is.
But I rewatched. Yeah, I rewatched the.
Like Castlevania too.
Yeah, it's like Simon's Quest. Thank you.
That's like Simon's Quest.
Yeah, so I rewatched the Rob Zombie stuff I hadn't seen since I saw it in theaters. I had not watched it in 15 years. The other ones I watch all the time. I just didn't particularly care for the Rob Zombie stuff, but I rewatched the first one and I changed my mind. So that's why we're going back and rewatching. So
when you say you changed your mind, you mean you liked it better upon second watching?
Yes.
That's interesting. I had a hard time getting through Rob Zombies. I thought it was good, but I had a hard time getting through it. Actually, I liked The Devil's Rejects. I think.
Oh yeah, I love his other movies. I love Halloween. So in my head, when I saw it, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be like the perfect movie for me.
Legit Jedi says Halloween 2 was the Illuminati movie.
The Illuminati.
That was kind of a weird side movie.
But yeah, so we do rewatch it just because we talk our first thoughts when we first originally saw the movie, and then our rewatches of it and how we felt then and how we feel now.
Yeah, I have a friend named Carson. We end up talking about horror movies a lot because we're actually working on scripts to do our own horror movie, like almost like an anthology or like in a universe.
Nice.
So we end up talking about a lot of horror movies, and we were talking about we talk about aliens a lot, or aliens, and we're doing a watch. We just watched 1 and 2 recently, and we're going to watch 3 and 4. And it's like, what is good, what is bad about them? Like, what are the differences? And going through, and it's really interesting because I had not seen Aliens 2 since I was a kid, or Alien 2 or Aliens. I had not seen it since I was a kid, and it was really interesting to watch it for the first time. My first watching of Alien was only 5 years ago, so it was funny. I'd actually seen Aliens before I'd even seen the original, and then I had watched Alien 3 in probably 2004 or 2005, and I was like watching, and I watched the theatrical release, not the
director's cut. The
director's cut. And I left watching that movie. I was like, I was so numb after watching it. Like, that was my memory of it. I was like, just sliced my wrist. Like, this is one of the most depressing movies I'd ever seen. It was so depressing. Like, I was just like, nothing matters. It's so weird to walk out of a film that way. Yeah, I felt that way about that one. And also I felt that way about Poltergeist 3. It gave me the same exact feeling. Which is really interesting. And I watched them around the same time. I think I watched that one in 2000. I watched Alien 3 in 2004, and then I watched Poltergeist 3 like in 2005 or 2006. So it was like right around that almost same period. And I'm like, oh, this is such a terrible movie. Not terrible in the sense that it was badly made, but terrible in the sense that the way it made you feel. And of course, there's all this backstory, and we won't get into it because it's this whole thing. But anyways, going to what you were saying, Graveyard. It's about like rewatching the movies.
Yeah.
You know, you watch them again. I watched the director's cut of Alien 3 more recently, and it was really interesting rewatching Alien 3. But it was the director's cut and the differences between them and the way they made me feel. And then we watched Hellbound Heart. I just watched Hellbound Heart or Hellraiser 1 recently, and I was actually distracted. It was like beautifully distracting. Because now I've been in film, I know how film is made. I've done scripts. I've done a lot of these parts in film, even acted in them, and it's so different. It's such a different like knowledge set that you have. And you're like, wow, this is so beautifully composed. Holy crap! Like, there's nothing left. There's no throwaway lines in the script. Holy crap! It's really well done.
Yeah.
Harry, have you ever made a horror sound font?
No, I wouldn't say any of my fonts are really horror themed.
Is that something you'd ever consider doing?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been thinking about rolling something spooky for Halloween this year. I'm a big John Carpenter fan. The Thing is one of my favorite movies. I know it's not really like a Halloween movie, but whenever it gets Halloween, I like to watch movies like that. Those kind of suspenseful, like body horror thriller movies, and The Thing is probably one of my favorite movies of all time. Yes. And I've kind of been toying around the idea of doing a font, like just a John Carpenter themed font, because all of his scores are so synth heavy and they're so like visceral and just
they're amazing.
And like, yeah, his music is a vibe. So yeah, I've definitely considered doing something like that.
Yes, for the Dark is one of my favorite horror movies. Anyways,
yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, it's one of my favorites. It's so good.
But yeah, I've been thinking about it for sure.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know why this is not necessarily horror, but when you were talking about that, I don't know why John Carpenter made me think of Stanley Kubrick, but I was just thinking, dude, how sick would a Clockwork Orange sound font be?
Oh wow.
Yeah. There's some classics in there, some great classic lines in that one.
Yeah. I kind of want to do a Gremlins one come Christmas time this year too.
Oh.
Gremlins 2 is so good. I actually really love Gremlins 2. I think it's so underrated. It's
Get
so
some quotes of the old man. They're gremlins in the machine. I tell you, they're gremlins.
What about you, Forrest? Would you do a horror sound font?
So,
oh my God, Kroll, legit Jedi. Do you guys remember that movie Kroll?
Oh, Kroll.
Oh, dude,
is that the one with the freaking star that's like?
Hell yeah, dude, that movie was badass.
I need to go watch it again because I only have very, very vague memories of it.
Dude, we should do a Kroll watch party.
I'm curious if I actually.
All I remember is the mirror
would
section, them getting out of it. Oh my God.
Dude, how many people would even know what Kroll is, dude? That would be so badass.
The veterans in the community would know. I mean, they knew about Spaceballs. When I made my Spaceballs font, they freaked.
Spaceballs the movie. Spaceballs the series.
I have that on here as well.
Flamethrower.
Is your font called Spaceballs the font?
No, Juan Sith, who is a veteran in our community, just made his Spaceballs the sound font. Mine is called Over My Helmet. You went over my helmet? So we both did one. I did mine like a year and a half ago, but yeah, we're the only two people in the community who's ever done it, and it's really cool. But to answer your question, Van, I was actually thinking about like a slaughter font.
Ooh.
Like just like instead of there being clashes, like you're just cutting people down.
Wow. Did you do the psycho stabbing music? That's the violent string. Yeah.
You could totally do that. Oh, but you know what though? Like
I'm thinking of Gremlins music. That's what it was.
At first, when you were saying that font, I was thinking like chainsaws or the sound of like a swinging sword. But then, what about the sound of like actually cutting through flesh, like the sound of the, you know what I mean, the stabbing motion? Hell yeah!
I'm not sure about. Well, I mean, yeah, Harry, that would work, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I mean,
hey, I'm
I kind of wanted to do like a R-rated Vader font, like a variation of the hallway scene, but just make it like super R-rated. And I mean, like you get death screams from rebels on the clashes, like like stuff like that. Just some fruit squashing in there, like you're talking about, like for the force effects, you know,
make it sound like somebody's
like bones
just
breaking
crushing
and stuff.
You know who does a really great job at, death acting? It's the South Park people. Like when they get
they're really good at it,
when they get women to scream when there's like horrific death things happening in that show, they screech and scream like it's really painful.
Yeah.
Like sourcing some of that would be very effective.
Invader Zim, but
they
did an amazing job at that as well on that show. And I even remember watching something about the sound design for Invader Zim, and they were talking about how they did the screaming and all that. They were like, it just kind of got desensitizing after a while. Like every day we're in the studio just screaming bloody murder, just
open the fist.
Yeah. I'd love to get some of those talents on a sound font, like find them and hey, can I just get you to scream for me?
Yeah. So so we got what Graveyard does. Harry, what do you do?
Harry, what do you do?
Yeah, what do you do, Harry?
Haven't figured it out by now and by the name down here. I make sound fonts.
Yes, he does.
So you can find my work on harrysolofonts.com. And
wait, hold on. Keep in mind real quick that not everybody that watches this is in the Saber community. Yeah. So they may not even know what a sound font is.
Yeah, basically, there's so many different kinds of lightsabers out there these days, and they range from the cheap ones you buy at the store that just go and when you retract the blade, and then there's ones that are hobbyist grade all the way up to something better than you'd find on the screen. Exactly. Like what Ford's just put up, what Ark's got right there. And people are putting, really high quality soundboards and electronics in these sabers. And this allows you to unlock the potential of your lightsaber and really make it how you want it. People out there like myself and Forrest here, and he mentioned Juan, Sith, and some other really great content creators are making custom sound fonts from scratch with our own 2 hands and fingers, and we are making authentically created sounds to put on your saber. So this is artwork right here that you can play with.
So let me take a minute and just plug real quick. If you are interested in one of these sabers, then I really recommend you go right on over to kybercave.com
sabers. They're
and
really
freaking
good.
pick out a saber, and I recommend you get a golden harvest inside it. And then go to harrysolofonts.com, you go to forzfx.com, and you go to saberfont.com, and you find some talent, and you find something you want, and you put that on your saber, and don't let anybody tell you that you're wrong, because you're not.
There's so much fun stuff out there. Like most of the sound effects on my saber, all the ones I bought were not Star Wars related. I have a couple on there. Like there's like a standard Luke and a standard Vader that he put on there. But like most of all the other ones, I have Stranger Things from Repulse.
Awesome.
I have 3 of yours. I picked up the Nightmare Before Elm Street sound font. Pitch Black, which is just a classic.
Dude,
a classic sound.
Let me recommend 2 more fonts for you. Get Halcyon that Harry just released.
Ooh.
Nice.
But then you need to get my favorite font that he's done, and it's called Foolish Old Man. It is the 2003 cartoon animated Clone Wars Dooku.
Wow. Jesus Christ, that's specific.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know what's real specific about it? It's that absolutely amazing ignition.
Right.
Ooh.
Because
don't worry, there's plenty of sabers from Attack of the Clones.
No, not Attack of the Clones. Clone Wars, the animated Clone Wars.
Right.
And there's only been 3 people who's ever used that ignition. This guy right here, that guy right there, and Link over at Repulse.
Wow.
On the Dooku font, because we're that devoted.
Man of culture.
It's amazing, like how like when I go through sometimes, like I was telling you, Forrest, for me it was a little overwhelming when I was looking through all the sound fonts and trying to remember which ones you liked, and like there's like 12 different versions of Luke, but it's like Luke Return of the Jedi, Luke
18.
when he's taking a piss at the bar, Luke,
Luke when he's drinking the blue milk,
when he loses his virginity. You know what I mean? Like there's so many different types, and how do you like even think like, okay, I'm gonna specifically hone in on Count Dooku from Clone Wars? Like, do you just hear that noise in the cartoon? You're like, oh, that's different. That's distinctive.
Yes.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. I mean, like when sound is like, you have an intimate relationship with sound. Like I know myself and Forrest do. It's on a different level of just hearing it and saying, that's cool. You hear every piece of it. You break it down and like you hear every millisecond and that and how it, it ends with a certain decrescendo. And it's just, you pick out all the elements to it and you're like, whoa, that's unique.
That's one thing. For me, that's one thing I will say about
Brother and the Inquisitors. Their lightsabers are so unique and they have this totally bizarre sound that you don't hear anywhere else in Star Wars. And like, as soon as I saw it or heard it in Rebels, I was like, I gotta do that. Like, that's mind blowing for me. Wow. So it's just little things like that you pick up on, and then just you gotta roll with it.
Yes.
Does every single lightsaber in Star Wars have a different sound?
No.
Like even background characters? No.
No. There's a lot of rehashed prequel. I call them I call it the prequel library, because from episode 1 through episode 3 and like 4 seasons of Clone Wars and the Old Republic, not the MMO, like the Knights of the Republic games, they just recycle the same archive of sounds. That's all they do.
3 types. You got your A type, B type, and C type. Red, blue, and green.
Red, blue, and green.
Wow. So
Which
all
is-
the blues made the same sound regardless of the different.
Sort of, yes.
They would use blue in like you'd catch a red saber with blue sometimes, or vice versa. You'd get a blue saber with red. Anakin's saber, or like the blue Graflex often makes sounds that we hear Darth Vader's saber make in later films.
Oh, wow.
Just stuff like that. It gets recycled a lot, and still these days, tisk, you Lucasfilm, I'm talking to you. Stop reusing your sounds from stuff. They still do it.
That is one thing that I would say.
And it's cool. Like I appreciate what work Ben Burt did, because he made some really groundbreaking stuff in the sound world.
Right.
But they're still using the same Ben Burt library, and they're like touting it. And it's like, okay, guys, do something different now. Like, let's see what else you can come up with.
Right.
Well, and it's sad because the sound design is actually really fantastic.
No,
Absolutely
it is.
it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's one thing I will even say for Attack of the Clones. As much as I hate that movie, I will say that the sound design is still fantastic, and so is the music. The music is really, really great.
Well, this is okay, and this is the reason. This is the reason why a long time ago I ventured out into creating out of universe stuff, because there are things out there that I have taken on, like, you know, before the boards became what they became now. I had a Gundam font, like I had a straight up Gundam font. I had,
cool.
I'm still, you know, I still have to make a font out of Tenchi Muyo. I still got to make a font out of Naruto. I'm still making your Sailor Moon font. So. I mean, you know,
I will
Zelda.
send you, and I will once I feel better, I will send you. I just have to do a day. I just have to get it done.
Like there's so much great anime content, video game content,
Legend of Dragoon,
sci-fi content, you know,
and
I honestly, the way Van and I met,
Legend of Zelda content.
Heck yeah. And the way Van and I met was literally because I created a Scott Pilgrim sound font.
That is fantastic. I love Scott Pilgrim. Actually, so separate thing. It's funny, actually. This is how much Legend of Zelda is so like gotten in my brain. When I used to do, like, when they do like key ups, you know, like in martial arts, or even when I'm like doing stuff, I actually make Link sounds when I'm doing it.
So to touch on something Sei Wong just said about copyright cease and desist.
Yeah.
So I can only speak for myself. I mean, as an artist, and I know Forz does the same. But
it's my disclaimer.
Yeah, what we are selling is not the sounds. We're selling our time that we are using to arrange the sounds, put them together, and then a lot of the sounds that I make are authentic. That I make off synthesizers and off hardware and off software from scratch. So while there may be elements of things that you've heard in mediums like video games or shows in there, or something from a Star Wars movie in there, I'm going to add my own elements of things on top of it to elevate that to where it's a product that I feel comfortable putting out.
Yes.
I don't feel comfortable copy pasting the show sounds and then releasing that for sale. That's, you know, if you want,
that's something other font makers do.
Yeah, go for it. But when you buy a Harry Solo font, when you buy a Force Effects font, you're getting something that's an authentic, crafted piece of work that does not fall under unfair use. Now all of our stuff falls under fair use.
Now let's touch on this too, because a lot of people would disagree with that, and they'd be like, no, there's no way you can make it sound that accurate from scratch. And they're correct. There's no way we can make it sound that accurate from scratch, which is why we have another there's another fine line that's in there, and that is our sounds, if we source them from somewhere, they fall under what's called transformative nature, which means if you choose to use a sound sourced from somewhere, you need to be changing it. Like, not just adding a layer and adding a little bass line. I'm talking about you need to be breaking that sound down, and you need to be adding layers, and you need to be transforming that original sound into a brand new sound. Can it sound similar? Yes. Can it sound exactly the same? No.
Yeah, I know that there's been a lot of court cases with musicians about this, saying like, "Oh, you stole my beat or you took my sample."
Yeah.
but it really has to do with what did I do with it? Did I just lay it down exactly the way you had it, or did I lay it down and then change it up and go up a little bit so that I actually transformed it? In
Here are the
copyright
two
law,
things. Here are the
too, I
two
know
things you
that.
can actually ding for copyright. Really. And anyone who tries to go and say, oh, well, I unless it's a very, very unique chord, you really can't do that. But the two things that people will get mostly is lyrics and melody. That's the only things you can do. So people going, well, you took my chord progression. No, dude, that chord progression's been around since at least the Romantic era.
Yeah.
Sorry,
like,
buddy.
It's like mathematics, it's like numbers. They're gonna be there no matter what.
It is
You
math.
can't,
Yeah.
you can't steal those. And that's the thing too.
And it's funny when people try to do it, and they're like, "Well, I mean, I can understand like if if it's similar enough to another song, I understand like that's fine, but you can't say like, oh, I'm gonna use like." Use music theories, guys. Sorry, but I'm gonna use the 1-5 or 1-2-4-5-1 chord progression. It's like no, you can't. And that's my chord progression. No one else can use it. No, actually, that's not true. Anyone can actually use that same progression because that is a normal progression that's just in music. So it's really funny when I hear people are like, "Oh, they're trying to make this chord progression like copyrighted," and it's like no, you can't do that. It's really something you can't do, not unless it is something that's never really been heard before, but that's so hard to do.
Let me read something to you guys that's on my website and on several font makers website. And Sewong, if you're still there, listen to this. So this only applies to people like me, like Harry, who who add layers, who break the original sounds down and change them. This is who it applies to. This applies to transformative nature. It states this: all sound fonts are covered under Section 17 USC 107 of the Copyright Act. They are created using sounds from outside sources, original sources with a transformative nature, and key point, are sold based on time, labor, and equipment used to create them. We are selling our time and our labor. Whether you pay me $500 for a commission or you pay $10 for something I've put on my website, or $11 or $10 that Harry put on his. That's what we're selling. But guarantee it, you're not going to find cut, copy, paste on our stuff.
Well, that's just like doing an art piece. It's like doing a commission. That's what it reminds me of.
I don't know. Okay, what it sounds to me like you're saying is that, okay, I'm going to do a painting for you, but you're not buying the painting. You're buying the time it took me to make the painting and the material that I spent, the paint to make the painting, but you're not actually buying the painting. It almost sounds, I mean, I'm not, I'm not trying to be a dick or anything.
No,
it sounds like a way to kind of get around.
Okay. I'll put it to you like this. I'll put it to you like this. Anime as an art form, okay? A still frame. There are a couple of ladies down in Orlando who I'm their biggest fan. They are known as the Chalk Twins. They create renderings of existing images with chalk by hand. So these are pictures you can find anywhere, but they recreate it by hand. So what are you paying for? You're paying for the time, the effort, the chalk that went into them creating that artwork, and they sell it.
How do they sell it?
They just do.
I mean, they're creating. Where are they? Are they creating it on a chalkboard and then sending you a chalkboard or something?
No. So what they do is they like, for example, if they have like a really good hard stone surface in the middle of the city, and they create the artwork, and then they have a photographer come in and they take a picture of the artwork,
and
then they can have it put on canvas, so they can put it anywhere. But who did the work? They did, using their materials. That's kind of what we're going with here. Does the image already exist, taken by another or done by another artist? Yes. Did they redraw that very same image using chalk in their own time, their own labor, their own materials? Yes. And they sell it as their work.
Huh. Man, I feel like you're just skating some really fucking thin lines there. Like I mean, but then I also think about like cover bands, right? Duran Duran cover band. You know, this is not the original band that is singing. It's a group of other people that are singing tributes or songs that they
Sure.
sing. So I
Yes,
don't know, is
they're
that
not,
the same? Is that different?
claiming to be the writer, unless you're doing like different arrangements and stuff that you wrote. Then there's something to that. But other than that, like you can't really copyright that song, at least not as an original. You have to copyright under as a cover. And then what happens is that the original people who wrote it, the songwriters, actually get royalty fees. They get
Graveyard. How important is sound in horror movies? What percentage would you say is the importance?
I mean, sound. I think it goes both ways. You can have really effective sound, but then you can have silence, and that silence is very impactful. Just as
but that's the same. That's the same as sound. Anyway, silence is sound.
Yeah. But you have to contrast that silence with sound, because if you just like watch a silent film, then it's not scary. But if you have
silent films aren't silent; they're usually
sound, and then it goes silent like during an intense part, then it's like it really brings up the intensity.
When you shut the music off abruptly, yeah.
But I mean, I think you have the opposite, like Quiet Place, where you have so much silence, and then the sound is the high notes of it.
Yeah.
True.
And interestingly, I don't know if you guys watched the latest Netflix Dahmer series. Well, I'm sure you have, Graveyard. But there was one episode that I thought was super interesting. I think it was like episode 6, where they tell the backstory of one of the victims, and he was a deaf gentleman. And so the episode was done from the perspective of a deaf person. There was only a couple of points in the episode where you actually heard sound, and I just thought that was kind of almost a mind-blowing way to watch that episode.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have, in especially the 70s, 80s horror movies, that there's not a lot of acting that's going on. There's a lot of just walking and just set pieces. So they have to fill in that, because there's, we have lots of movies. There's 20, 30 minutes with no talking. So they have to fill it in with music, and we get the suspense. And now, now we have the people that are purposely trying to put the jump scare music into the movie, and then there's nothing
lazy.
there. And there's nothing there.
That's so lazy. It's lazy. It's lazy sound design. I mean, that's when it can destroy it. Honestly, like the thing is that you either have character music, where you have music that's being played as a character, or you're having it atmospheric, where it is basically minimalist music. And that's
but I'm so much more than just the music. Like Harry was talking about the sound effects in Tim what's his name? Tim. What was the sound designer from Star Wars name?
Ben Burtt.
Ben Burtt, not Tim. Ben Burtt. Like all of the creativity that came into creating these brand new sounds. Do you feel like in horror movies that they've, as time has gone, the movies nowadays, do they do a better job with sound, not just the music, or do you think they did a better job back in the 80s movies?
I mean, I think we don't get. I mean, the sound effects almost are identical, right? I think for a lot of their stuff they have, it's just that piece that's there. You have the cutting in flesh. Yeah, you have your trauma stuff that sounds goofy and terrible and sounds like someone, putting their hand in a jar of mayonnaise as going into a body, versus probably the sounds effects that we're able to create now. It's more practical. I think back then is more practical sound effects versus the sound effects computer generated stuff you can do now.
Right.
So there's more layers to it in today's movies.
Right. Alrighty. Well, guys, we're over. That was kind of funny. We were trying to eat up some time, and then we ended up getting really.
We ate all the time.
We ate
all the time.
So typically, what we do is we usually do a round robin at the end, and everybody gets to info dump. So, you guys just told a little bit about what you did. I'm still gonna go around. I'm gonna hit you guys, and you can also let people know where they can find you and your information. But let's start with this guy, because he will show you how it's done. Show him how we do this, Force.
All right. So here's what I'm going to need you guys to do. I'm going to need you to go to Kyber Cave kybercavegame.com and pick up one of these bad boys right here. Then you're going to go over to forsfx.com and harrysolofonts.com, or would you stop rattling your desk,
I was like, are you having an earthquake over there?
My dog is scratching. And
I'm feeling that was what was going on.
And saberfont.com, and you're going to get an amazing, like, you're going to get them sound fonts. You're going to put them on your Saber. You're going to love them, because that's the point of a sound font. Not to get into politics, not to trash everybody, not to pick who your favorite is. No, it's to have fun and smile and enjoy your Saber, because that's what it's about. Then
it adds so much depth and dimension to your Saber. My first Saber, it's funny, I had like one sound that I turned on and turned off, and I was like, oh, this is the coolest thing. But when you get when you can have sound fonts from your favorite movies that have nothing to do with Star Wars, and you can personalize it and just really make this your own. And what's more fun than having it is putting your Saber into somebody else's hand who they expect to hear a Star Wars sound, but they hear something from one of their other favorite movies. They're like, holy shit, you can do that too?
Yep. So then you're going to go subscribe to Kyber Cave Productions on YouTube. You're going to join the Patreon. You're going to donate and become the biggest donator Graveyard is.
Yes.
And then follow Metso as she does Kyber Cave Gaming. Follow me as I do Kyber Cave Gaming. And as a matter of fact, Aubrey's going to be joining us very soon on a playthrough of. No, I'm going to let Metso surprise all of you. I'm not going to spoil it. I'm going to let Metso surprise you on Wednesday.
Yes, I will be joining Metso on Wednesday.
So yes, kybercave.com, saberfont.com, forsfx.com, harrysolofonts.com, repulsecollectibles.com.
All the .coms.
All the .coms.
All of them.
All the .coms.
And then finally, subscribe to the Helmet Fire channel, where you can see me and Link from Repulse Collectibles do a gaming and tech show called All the Spice. All the spice and excitement. So yeah. And that's it from me.
I'm thinking when you say spice, I'm thinking Star Wars. I'm thinking it's is this a show about drugs? Are you talking about drugs?
No,
the spice must flow. The spice must flow.
We're talking about freaking old Slim Jim commercials. Oh,
never mind. I'm thinking about Dune. Boy, what does that say about me? Hi, I'm Aubrey. I'm a singer and an actress and a composer, and I do I have all the hats.
Forza's Kyber Cave wife.
Yep, and I'm also Forza's Kyber Cave wife. Yeah, he's super proud of this.
You don't know what you're getting yourself into.
Yes, I do.
We're already into it.
We're already into it. It's already happening. Anyway, so you go. Make sure you go and check out my lovely Forza's all of his stuff. Go to that. But you can also go to byldreams.com and sign up on our newsletter. We'll be releasing our single. This is my band by BYL. We'll be releasing our single, Mr. Sinister, next week. We're getting all that done to do that, and we're also just got the website up and all that. So we're doing lots of things, and it's going to be lots of fun. Next time you see me here, I'll have a beautiful backdrop that if you do sign up for the newsletter, it will come up next week. You'll see it. But if you sign up, you'll get you can put our backdrop for the website on your phone and also on your computer. It's really cool. You get a lot of cool little freebies if you sign up for it. Shit. So we're doing all the things, and I will be doing all the marketing stuff, I guess, for it next week, because I did not download it to put it up this week. But we're getting all of that done. But yeah, I'm really excited. It's gonna be a great song. I think everyone's gonna like it. Yeah, I'm legit and shit.
All right.
You can also go to Spotify. You can actually see my own album that I did myself. I wrote it. I wrote all the songs there. They're all originals. It's great.
The link is in my playthroughs.
And the link is in his playthroughs. He loves me.
Excellent. Mr. Graveyard, where can people find you?
Yes. So anywhere you can get your podcasts, they mostly pod out at night. Mostly. I'm on Spotify, Amazon, iTunes. I I just have a big list that the RSS feed goes into. This month for October, we release 2 a week for Spooktober, but we generally release about every Sunday or Wednesday during the week. Yeah, we just recording episode 14 tomorrow.
All right.
So go watch all 14 episodes.
They're long. They're long. I'm not gonna lie.
Go watch them anyway.
And I'm we're working on getting a website, working on getting some. I've been doing some merch because we did some conventions. Convention a couple weeks ago. Yeah. And then hopefully next year we're gonna start interviewing people and hopefully get some people like Aubrey to get in there who's writing the movie, because I'd love to get writers and small films and stuff like that. Everyone in there involved.
Yeah. Maybe I'll ask for your expertise for horror stuff, because I am writing a horror short, which I will probably be starring in. But it'll be great.
I can't wait.
We will stay tuned for that. And again, I'm trying to get you to do a show on this channel here. So
yes, actually, I am looking. I'm looking for role players actually to go and help me beta test a game that I have been working on with a co-writer for the last forever. For the last 7 years. So we will get a day and the time actually, Van, I'm gonna have you meet my co-writer. We're gonna schedule a date for this week. Some more so you and her can talk, and you and her can talk.
Look for a new Kyber Cave Dungeons and Dragon type gaming show.
Yes, a type gaming show. It's gonna be called The New Order. It's gonna be great.
Woo! All right. Okay, Harry Solofonts.
Yes, let's go.
All right. So yeah, my name's Harry Solofonts. You can find my lightsaber sound fonts available at harrysolofonts.com. I also am partnered with saberfont.com, so you can get them there as well. They're just typically a little bit behind on my releases, so if you want all of my up-to-date and everything super modern, current, freshy fresh, head to my website. Also, I'm be running some discount codes every once in a while. I'm always running sales. And if you are interested in getting a private font commission, if there's an idea that you have that you've always wanted that nobody else has done, don't hesitate to reach out. There's a contact form on my website. You can click that and send me an email, and we can chat about it.
Wow.
Some of my favorite fonts I've ever done have been commissions, including my Corin Horn one, which is the Halcyon font that I just released. So,
wow.
Yeah. If you like
fonts,
get at me.
How many fonts do you think you have created?
How many published? I think I'm up to 15 or so, something like that. 15, 16. Awesome. Not as many as 4s here, but yeah.
Wow.
Support all these awesome dudes on this channel. Go support all of these awesome, amazing people.
Harry, on a side note, let's talk. I want to interview you for our other show, Saber Rattle.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yes, do it.
You can't fucking curse on that show though, so watch your mouth. I know, not that I've been doing the one doing no other cursing. I'm just fucking with you. All right.
That sounds good. I'm down. And also, I've been doing some streaming of games lately as well. Just doing some flight sim stuff. So if anybody is interested in military aviation, jets, stuff like that,
wow,
you can catch some videos on my channel as well. Yeah.
Is that a YouTube channel or?
Yeah, Harry Solofonts on YouTube. It's where all my font demo videos can be found, and my streaming will be there as well.
Oh, okay. Nice. Look at that. Multi-talented. All right. As for me, I am Arctic Scholar with the Kyber Cave. Make sure to check out kybercave.com. We've recently updated, and we've actually been able to lower some of the prices on our NeoPixel sabers. We have the brand new Ahsoka's coming out. Everybody's excited about that. The Dark Saber, people are already getting their orders in for the Dark Saber. Lots of new things. Make sure to check out our Patreon as well for Kyber Cave Productions. That helps us bring this show as well as new content that we want to bring. The new gaming show that Aubrey's going to do. Hopefully we can get a show at a graveyard there. And Wednesdays, don't forget Wednesdays, Mezzo does a gaming channel, and Fours has 3 episodes up, right? 3 episodes so far?
And hopefully by Sunday it'll be 4.
Wow, but you're not on a regular schedule on the channel, right?
I'm trying. I'm so trying.
No, I mean it's cool. What I think is really cool, and watching your show and watching Metz's show, Mez's show is a live stream, so
She's
it's
interactive.
in the moment. But yours, I feel like, is more comedic and funny because it's actually edited, so you actually can work with the material that you have and create more. So it's really cool to see the two different styles of gaming on the channel. And then, of course, when the new show comes on, the role playing game, that'll be a whole different type of gaming that we have on the channel.
Yeah, it will be. So it's going to be interesting to do the statistics. What? Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask Van if he could throw me the screen for a minute.
Oh yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, real talk for a minute. Whether you have seen it, whether you understand it, whether you realize it, in the last month, literally the last month, Kyber Cave has grown by leaps and bounds. They are more than just a website that sells sabers and merch. We are literally doing gaming on two gaming sessions by two different people, possibly more very soon. That is getting more and more interactive. We are reaching out at cons. I'm making suggestions to Van to even come to Florida at some point. Woo! We want to take Kyber Cave literally nationwide. And this is going to be a centralized point where you can come and enjoy not just things Star Wars, but everything media. Like, you want to come enjoy horror, you want to come and enjoy After Dark, chat, you want to come and enjoy like a family Saber Rattle show, you want to buy merch, you want to buy sabers, you want to buy fonts, you want references to people who can get you all this stuff. Kyber Cave is more than just like a hub. We're a freaking family, and we're reaching out, and whether you like it or not, we are growing, and we would love for you to grow with us. Please support us on the Patreon. Please support us with a purchase. Please support us by telling somebody about us, because this guy right here works damn hard to get this place where it is right now. So please support the Kyber Cave, because Kyber Cave is going to continue to grow by leaps and bounds, and we are one big happy team family who's just going to keep it growing.
Also, next month, Dave and I we also have a presentation we'll be doing. Van, you will be recording that, correct?
I'm hoping we can do a live event when that happens.
I need to see that.
Awesome. Yeah, I think it'll be pretty cool. I think you guys will be happy with it. So yeah, we're working really hard. Unfortunately, we only get to meet once a week because David's isn't free every other day. But we've been working really hard on it.
And as we were going, once again, we want to thank Graveyard, our first subscriber and our top subscriber. Thank you so much for helping us.
Thank you, Graveyard.
We just actually picked up a new person since she's not going to be on the outro for this. I want to thank Jenny Huff, our newest Patreon subscriber.
Yay!
She just signed up today.
Yay, Jenny!
Thank you so much. We love you.
Thank you.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. We went a little bit longer than most nights, but you know what? We're having fun, and what the fuck, we can do whatever we want here. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Just like George Lucas said, when you own your own cameras, nobody can tell you no.
And it's after party time, kids. Let's do this.
That's right. So until next Friday, we will see you again here, same time, 7 p.m. every Friday. Hopefully Harry and Graveyard might be back, and Brian, we'll get Brian back. Anthony, John, we got a whole slew of people. Dave, Jennifer.
Get Harry and Graveyard back.
Yeah.
I like Dr. Saber. He likes my beer.
Awesome.
Yes.
Maybe we might get some our distant nerding brothers on here.
Sister's nerding sister show.
That's right. That's the beautiful thing about this show is you never know who is going to pop up every week except for me because I have no friggin' life.
Never know what you're going to get.
And see, there's distance learning right there. Make sure to check out their podcast as well. You've got 2 podcasts to check out. All right, guys, we are going to shut this off. I love you very much. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you next Friday. And here we go.
Okay, bye.
Right.